Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday evening, and welcome to the first Achievement Chasers of 2026 with my good friend and co-host, Dude1286. Good evening, dude. What's up?
Doing pretty good. How about
So,
you?
doing well. I
You
did
do
not
anything for the
take.
holiday?
I was very busy over Christmas with lots of family stuff, so it was very busy, but all fun stuff. Um, but I did not take a winter hiatus like I did in 2024, where I took basically the entire month of December off. But I kind of hit the ground running back in to this month, where I streamed every night this week so far, and my stream schedule is Monday through Thursday. I have Monday through Thursday booked every day for this month, so I'm going to be streaming a lot, which is a good thing. Jason and I resumed top 5 because we were on a break for a couple months there, so we're back to doing that every other Tuesday. We're doing this
Those
tonight.
are always fun to watch
Next
and
Thursday,
be a part of.
yes. And next Thursday, we haven't actually talked about this, but yet next Thursday, do you know what next Thursday is?
I do not.
It's unique to you and I.
Oh, it's an anniversary?
It's Dude Souls Day.
Ah.
The anniversary of when I beat Dark Souls. So I'm planning on, during the day, I'm going to be planning on streaming some Dark Souls. So you're welcome to hop in and chat with me.
Souls?
Just more Dark Souls Remastered, because I'm not planning on playing 2 or 3. Although I do have some other Souls games, so I could do some Elden Ring, or I could do some Sekiro. I figured I would do Dark Souls since it's the anniversary of Dark Souls, but I do have some other Souls games I haven't played yet that I could do instead. But it's going to be during the day, so I don't know if you'll be able to join, but you are welcome to join for that.
If it's on a Thursday, I can join a little bit more, but it's mainly because I work from home on Thursdays.
Oh, excellent. And then next Thursday evening, I'll be over on Jeff's channel, Suns and Shadows, for some Stargate talk. And then I'm bringing back open mic on the Thursday after that. And then Thursday after that, we're doing our Metroid Prime 4 roundtable. And it'll be Dude, myself, Lowest Expectations, and Jay Bongo said he's going to join us as well. So that'll be fun. But yeah, so I got a packed schedule for January, so it's good to be back in the regular.
And I think I am the one that actually, I think I have the highest opinion of Prime 4. It seems like.
We haven't really talked about it, and
I posted my thoughts in some Discords, and I even put a tier list, and I actually ended up putting Prime 4 above Prime 3.
I did see that, and I thought you were crazy for it, but we'll get into that at the end of the month.
I think part of the reason why I did that is because I don't see. If you noticed, every game that's not in S-Class doesn't really have a Metroidvania style map as well as the ones in S-Class.
Oh, in your S tier?
Yeah, and only the S tier ones I feel like are Metroidvanias in the full sense of the word.
Okay. Fair enough.
Everything below has things that get in the way of it being a Metroidvania in my eyes.
Okay, I did glance over.
My first A class was a Metroid Fusion.
Okay,
and the narrative in that game kind of gets in the way of it being a Metroidvania a little bit.
I totally see what you mean by that. I don't think it gets in the way of it being Metroidvania. It's just that's kind of like my biggest issue with it is it's a little too linear, but I think the map design is great.
Yeah, I mean that's what I mean, because like there's no real deviations you can do on the map.
Yeah,
I mean Prime 1 it kind of has that, but it was like the first 3D game, so it didn't feel as bad. It didn't feel as bad, and Prime 2 did a little bit better with the Metroidvania a little bit.
Yeah, I love those. So, but what was I just about to say about that? Oh, yeah, I did play and beat, and I got 100% in Prime 4, but there are no achievements, so it is not on the agenda to talk about tonight.
Yeah, I ended up getting 100% pickups, but I did not get the 100% logbook.
Same here. I did, because I did the whole thing on stream. I did about 80% of the collectibles on stream, and then I beat the game, and then I went and got the remaining 20 off stream, and so I ended up with 100% collection, but I think my logbook was only 93%, and I have no idea how I missed 7% when I scanned literally everything in every room I went in. So,
well, there's only a couple that are missable, and one of the ones I missed, the one I missed was freaking one of the planet
Phases of the boss.
No, there's actually, well, for that one, it was like three different scans. One was, of course, like the tentacles. Apparently, there was another piece of it that was also part of the scan logs, and I think it's one of the ones where the boss is actually has a hologram in the room whenever you're done fighting it, so you can actually still scan like the main boss itself.
Okay.
But because of the fact that the other two parts weren't on that hologram, those were still missable. So like they thought ahead for the missables,
but
they
not
they only did part of it.
They only half executed it. So I haven't actually gone back and compared the logbook of what I have versus like looking up online the full logbook. So I don't even know what logs I missed. I'll have to go do that at some point and see. I don't think I missed any of the missable ones, but I'll have to double check and see.
The sad thing is that to get the full 100% ending, you do have to get the 100% logbook.
You have to get 100% on both. That's so dumb.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well,
it's very similar to how Metroid Prime 1 handled its 100%, where it was just like a very small change to the ending.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Not even like an extra scene. It's just they just changed the scene, the original scene a little bit. Like she just takes off the helmet.
Right. Yeah, it's the same scene just with slight deviation.
Yep. So it wasn't even that big of a deal for me.
I'll have to look.
If there was achievements tied to it, I would have gone back and played through it. But same. I was like, I kind of want to play other games now.
Yeah. I will.
But we can say more of our thoughts on the 29th.
Yes. I will. I don't know that I've seen the 100% ending, so I'll have to actually go pull it up on YouTube and take a look and see what the difference is. So, but okay. Well, with that, I see Nightmare's in chat. What's up, Nightmare? He was streaming one of our favorite games. I've
never played Just Cause though, so it's not mine.
Just Cause. Well, I meant him and I because I'm a huge fan of Just Cause as well, and I've 100%ed all of them. I was the first person on Xbox to 100% in all 4 Just Cause games. But yeah, he was playing Just Cause 3 today, and I freaking love that game, and I know how much he loves that game as well. So that was fun. Now I will not, since I came in almost at the end of the discussion part before we started playing Just Cause, I'm gonna go and catch the first hour and a half or however long it was before I showed up, and I'll watch that on the replay because it sounded like there was some interesting.
He was mostly laughing at Indian scammers getting screwed out.
Yeah, I came in right at the end of that, so I'll watch the rest of that later tonight. So, but with that, we'll go ahead and start talking about stuff that actually has to do with achievements. He says I should play Just Cause 2 sometimes. Yes, you should, because Just Cause 2 is also very good. So, but yeah, we'll get talking about our achievement hunting for December. And I will go ahead and go first because it sounds like, as usual, I have a lot more to talk about. And I will stick with the same format I've kind of been doing, where beginning of the month to the end of the month in retro achievements, and then I'll switch over to beginning of the month to end of the month in Xbox. So I'll just kind of go through my retro achievement stuff real quick because either stuff I've talked about in depth before or not a whole lot to talk about. So the first thing for retro achievements that I played at the beginning of the month is another little micro hack, but it is the first hack that I played for a Mario game. And I forgot. Oh,
there's so many on there on that website that they've got supported.
Yeah, it's a Super Mario hack, which I think has more hacks available, or at least on retro achievements, has more hacks with retro achievement sets than any other game on the site, which would make sense. But I played Super Mario Christmas Season. It's just one short little level. It has like 7 achievements. I got 4 or 5 of them, and it took me. Let's see here. Did I pull it up here? I do. Where'd it go? Is it already off my top? It is off my top. It is. I think it took me like a half an hour just to beat this one level because it's tricky. And one of the achievements is for beating it without using the mid-level checkpoint. So that's also another reason why it took me a bit longer. Yeah, there's 7 achievements. I have 4 of them. And we got a raid on Twitch from Paul. What?
Nice.
I appreciate that, Paul. Thank you. I hope you're doing well and curious what you were playing over there on Twitch.
We also got a kickbot.
I see. I'm not going to delete it because then it might screw up so that you can't see the chat. So I'll just leave it there. But appreciate the raid, Paul. Hope you had fun playing whatever it was you were playing over there on Twitch today. But yeah, so there are only 7 achievements on. Oh, and you rated on Rumble as well. So
It's kind of funny
appreciate
that
it.
it's kind of funny that we see that in the chat. I can actually see them rating on Rumble, but I can't see them rating on
YouTube.
or yeah, YouTube or Twitch.
Oh yeah, the Twitch notification is only on. I have it set up in my OBS, so I can hear it. You can see it on my screen, but you don't hear it like I do. But the Rumble one shows up in chat. There's no in chat notification for Twitch, and then YouTube. There's just no way to be notified unless someone actually says something. Unless I have the actual chat up on YouTube, but I'm only looking at it in Restream. There's no Restream notification that you've been rated. So
just like there's no restreams notification whenever you get a Rumble rant.
Yes, that is, yeah, I discovered that the other night as well. So Paul says Halo tomorrow. I can't tomorrow, but I can on Sunday. I figured that's what we were planning.
Oh, you're gonna do it Sunday.
So I will be gone. Tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. That would actually work for me, but I don't know if that would work for Dude.
No, because I have a job.
Yeah.
During the day.
But I will be snowboarding on Saturday, so I will not be available because I'll be leaving my house at like 5:30. But Sunday it works for me. If that works for you and Bliss. So
it sounded like Bliss might not be joining us because he doesn't want to get Xbox Live again.
Oh, that would be a bummer. It's like, if I had money right now, I would gift him like a month, but I don't.
I mean, to be honest, I don't have it right now either. But that's because the only online game I play nowadays I'm going to be talking about in a little bit, and it's a free to play game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Although that one
play games don't require Xbox Live anymore.
That one I didn't get any achievements in, but there were in-game achievements I did. So I might as well talk about those.
So yeah, I'm planning on Sunday. So, but he might join us. We'll see. All right. Well, I hope he does. But anyways, so yeah, it's a little Super Mario Christmas season is a little micro hack of Super Mario World. And there are 7 achievements. The first one I got was beat the boss and read the final message, which is just for beating the level because it's just one level. There's an achievement for completing the stage and beat the boss without dying, taking damage, or using the checkpoint. I got that one. Starting as Small Mario, which is the only way you start, complete the stage and beat the boss without collecting any power-ups and without using the checkpoint. I got that one. Read the message block in Yoshi's house, which is like, actually that was the first one I got because you just have to. That's like a freebie achievement right at the beginning. Then the 3 that I still don't have is there's 5 Yoshi coins, and there's an achievement for getting all 5 of them, and they are very tricky to get. And a couple of them I can't even figure out how to get. So that's why I don't have that one yet.
Wait, you need to do a shell jump?
It also has something to do with like you have to like flip these kind of like the color switches where you'll see the outline of the block until you hit the color switch, and then all those blocks will be filled in. It's kind of like that, but all within this level where you have to like flip some of the colors to almost like a puzzle just to be able to get into one of them.
I'm pretty sure there's a way. I'm pretty sure there's a video of someone getting those.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. I haven't looked, but yeah, the Yoshi coins are very tricky, and I haven't figured out how to get them all. So, and then there's an achievement for completing the level without collecting any of the coins, which is very difficult because they're some very small passageways, and the coins are very difficult to avoid. So that one, I was trying to get that one. I was like, I give up. I'll come back to it later. And then the last one is that
I've never been the biggest fan of coin allergy achievements.
Yeah. And that one's called Coinless. And the last one is called Puffless. Complete the stage and beat the boss without touching the freeze cloud puffs without using checkpoint. Those are also in places that some spots are very difficult to avoid. So they don't do it just like the coins. They're typically beneficial to you to help you get through the level. But trying to get through the level and not touch them is difficult. So I've got 4 out of the 7. But all you have to do to get the story completion is just beat the level and get that achievement, which I did. So that was just a fun little micro hack that I played that was Christmas related, for December. So, and Paul also rated on YouTube. Well, I appreciate all the raids, dude. You rock. So
I didn't raid you.
Dang it, I have to do that every time. Paul, my buddy. Paul the dude, not Dude the dude. So that was one of them. Another one that I talked about earlier, not earlier this year, because I'm still having to mentally switch over that this year no longer qualifies as 2025. We're in 2026. So early last year, because I did like all the Metroid games, I started at the beginning, so I talked about it at length back then. But for some reason, I went and I played the classic NES version of Metroid on Game Boy Advance. I don't really know why I did that. But I did, and it was a much better experience this time because I knew what I was getting myself into, and I got through it in a pretty quick period of time. That's one of the things. So the Game Boy Advance version of Metroid is slightly better because for one reason is that you don't have to memorize or write down your passwords. It will save it for you. So you can just hit continue on the start screen. It'll automatically basically zoom by remembering what the password was. So that point alone, I did like this version better. So I did give it 0.5 higher score than I gave the original one. The thing that really dragged this one down is I beat it, but in retro achievements, I don't have the story completion for it because the jackass who wrote the achievement set for the classic NES series Metroid has achievements for reaching like basically each of the different areas after you go down one of the elevators. And also, which those achievements are in the original version as well. So it makes sense that they're in both. But there's an achievement for going through each of the elevators to the different areas, as well as activating the bridge to get to Turian after you beat Kraid and Ridley. The difference is, though, that he's specified that these achievements cannot be achieved with passwords, which means you have to do the whole game in one sitting. So I played through the whole game, but I didn't do it all at once. So I, saved and then came back to it later. But because continuing uses your password to pick up where you left off, it doesn't count as a story completion. So I went on to the, down at the bottom of the page. I gave him some flack about that. I'm like, you can either say no passwords and don't make it story progress related, or make it story progress related but allow passwords. But he did both. So the dude who wrote the achievements for the classic series is a jackass. So I've beaten it, but I don't have the story completion because there's 3 story achievements I don't have for reaching Hideout 1, Hideout 2, and extending the bridge in Turian without using passwords. So if you don't do it all in one go, no story completion for you. So I'm kind of pissed about that one. But
I mean, you're supposed to be able to beat the game in an hour too. So for that achievement,
the achievements are basically almost all the same as yours because there is an achievement like 4 at the end for the different speedrun times. And I don't remember because I don't have all of them in the original NES version, but he's got a bunch of like sequence break achievements for getting certain items before other items that you would normally get, which I could probably go and do those. But yeah, I know you're supposed to beat it in like under an hour or something, but it's like I'm not going for the speed run. I'm just going for a story completion. So I should have the story completion. But no, if you don't do it all in one sitting, screw you. So I'm not happy with you know what? I am gonna name drop him. It is Gal416, who I've played a bunch of games that he's written achievements for. And I've liked a lot of the ones that he's done, but this one I'm not happy about. So screw you, Gal. And that's GHAL416 for writing a crappy achievement set and making it story progress related and not allowing passwords to play off of, continue where you left off. So you got to play through the whole thing in one sitting, which I'm not happy about. So, but I went into pretty autistic detail last night on Backlog Battling about everything that I hate about the original Metroid, which I'm pretty sure I did the same thing early last year after I played it for the first time. So I won't go into the details of it, but it was a better experience than the first time. It's still a bad game. So went through and played Metroid GBA again, and then just yesterday. I know it's very. I'm not asking for any sympathy because this is all self-inflicted, but I finally figured out how to get the NES Metroid in Metroid Prime working, and I started playing that yesterday as well. That is easy, although it does save your progress, just like the Game Boy Advance version does, where it'll save your password.
Mhm.
The Metroid Prime version of the original Metroid is the worst version because a lot of the sprites are screwed up and don't display correctly. And I don't know if it has anything to do with emulating inside of an emulator, because it's Metroid Prime on GameCube was emulating it originally. I never played it originally on the GameCube because I didn't have the link cable, so I was never able to unlock it on my actual GameCube.
I never had any intention of playing it that way because I had other ways to play it, so I never did play it that way.
If it didn't have its own subset, I wouldn't either. But because it has its own subset, I went ahead and I'm like, I'll go ahead and play it again. And because it is a subset and not like a ROM hack, it counts everyone who's played Metroid Prime as part of the player base. So the ratios on it are super high. So yeah, I've gotten like 5 or 6 of the achievements in the GameCube version, but display wise, it looks even worse than the original NES version. So, but the last one I'll talk about here on Retro Achievements is one that I've been talking about a lot because it is one that I've been playing a lot since I started it in August. And I was already playing it, but as I mentioned on last night's stream, there was something that kind of put even more wind in, even though it's not like the wind was out of my sails, but this put even more wind in my sails to play it more. And so that is Mega Man Powered Up. I've been talking about it at least briefly, like every month of Achievement Chasers since I started playing it in August, because it's been the game that it's my second probably most played game in 2025 hours wise, and I've been loving it so much. Behind Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3+4, that's easily my number one. But as Dude informed me a few weeks ago that, well, he told me originally about this idea months ago, but they finally implemented it on a very small basis. It's in beta, and they're doing like one game at a time. But they finally released multi-set, which
it's been a thing that's been in the TM soon.
Yeah, they've been working on it for a while, and they now have it in beta, and there's about 10 games that it works for. And for anyone who isn't familiar with Retro Achievements and what multi-set is, some games may have multiple achievement sets for one game. So, like, for example, we'll use Mega Man Powered Up. So there's an achievement set. It's like 140 achievements, on 143. And there's an achievement for, like, beating the game with each character on normal. And there's like 12 characters. There's a bunch of characters, or a bunch of achievements for like beating all of the challenge modes with each character, because each character has 10 challenges. You have to beat all 10 of them with each character for an achievement for each one of them. So there's a lot of achievements. There's also a old style and new style of the game, and there's an achievement for beating old style, which I'm really close to, but old style is really difficult, just like the original Mega Man is. So that's the main set.
That was the point.
Yeah. So then there's the one of the subsets is called 480 or 468 stages. That's the one that I've actually been playing, because instead of just having one achievement for a character for beating the entire game with one character, there's an achievement for every level for every character on every difficulty. So you've got like 12 or 13 characters, and there's like 13 levels, and there's 3 difficulties for each level, which explains why there's like 480 achievements. There's 468, one for each level for each character, and then there's one additional achievement for each of like the 12 characters for beating all the levels with that character, except for Mega Man. I don't know why, because all of the characters have an additional achievement for beating all the levels as on each difficulty, except for Mega Man. And I finally beat Wily on hard, which I got into Wily on hard with Mega Man back in September, and I was like, I can't beat him. I'll come back to this later. So I kind of started playing other characters, and then I finally went back, and that was actually my very first achievement for all of 2026 was beating Wily on hard, including Xbox achievements. That was the first one I got. But I went back and beat Wily on hard, and I did not get an additional achievement for Mega Man. I'm like, what the heck? And then I went and looked through, and like, oh, he's the only character that doesn't have one. So I put a message in the forum for Powered Up, that subset. I'm like, hey, why doesn't Mega Man have an achievement? All the other characters do. And he gave me something about like if you played the primary set and then came to this set, the achievement wouldn't be unlockable. But I was like, Well, then you wouldn't be able to do that with any of the other characters either. So, but he did say in hindsight, all those other ones were kind of redundant, and you probably shouldn't have put them in there. But it's kind of too late for that now.
Yeah.
But I've been playing through the 468 stage.
But now that there's multi-set available, it'll be a bit easier that way.
Yeah. So the
I'm pretty sure if you put in something saying, "Hey, can I get this achievement?" They probably would do something about it.
If you have like the achievement, if there's an achievement for like beating all of the levels with a character, and you have all of the achievements for each of those levels, but you don't have the achievement for like the one for beating all the levels, they will give you a manual unlock of that if you have the proof for it. So they will do that. But anyways, that's one of the multi-sets. And then the third subset for Powered Up is the exact same as the 468 stages, where there's like 480 achievements. But the difference is that you have to beat every level with every character on every difficulty without taking damage in the whole level. So that one's pretty crazy. So anyways, the only one that I had been playing,
are there any masteries of that one?
I will pull that up here in just a second. I believe there's 4 off the top of my head, if I remember correctly. But anyways, so there's 3 sets of achievements for this one game, and multi-set means because before this, if you wanted to play any of this, either of the other 2 subsets, you had to patch your ROM, and you could only play that subset. So now the games that they add into this multi-set beta, you can play the original ROM, and you can get achievements in any of the subsets for that game all at once. So it kind of added even more wind into my sails, and it's been great. So at that point, like I said, I'd only been playing the 468 stages. I was like, you know what? I'll go ahead and play all 3 subsets now. So I've only made a little bit of progress on the 468 stages, but I've been going through and working on the main set and also the perfect set where you have to beat each level without taking damage. That's called the perfect set. So the main set, like I said, has 143. I only have 51 so far. The perfect set has 480 achievements as well. I already have 74 of those. So I've been working on a lot of those, and that's been a bit frustrating for some characters, but it's been a lot of fun. My retro ratio has jumped from like a 2.8. I'm now at like a 6.6 because some of these achievements have ridiculously high ratios. So my ratio has gone up massively, which has also been nice. It's just a bummer that it's only your retro points and not your like retro achievement points. It's just, for anyone who doesn't know, there's basically like your gamer score versus your true achievement score on the Xbox side of things. It doesn't affect your gamer score, essentially. It just affects your true achievement score. But either way, I've been having a lot of fun with that. So I have 74 of the perfect achievements so far. And I only have 51 of the main set, but I have 207 in the 468 subset, which is the one I've been playing since August. The perfect set has a total of, there are 5 masteries of the perfect set, which is insane that anyone has beaten every single level with every single character on every single difficulty without taking damage. Because some of the characters, the 2 worst characters in my opinion is Oil Man and Guts Man. They are both, because Gutsman is big and slow, and he doesn't have a shoot ability or anything. How Gutsman plays is you have to hit your shoot button once, and it'll pull out a block from the ground, but it'll be sitting on the ground. You have to push the shoot button again to pick that block up, and then you have to hit the shoot button again to throw it. And it only hits enemies that are like, so if Gutsman is right here, this is kind of like your line of sight. It'll only hit things at your line of sight or above. If anything is below that, you have to get farther away so that the block will arc. So it is very difficult to hit anything that's below him. And you have to hit the button 3 times to do 1 attack. So he's so slow. And Oil Man, he shoots a little blob of oil on the ground, and when that blob of oil is on the ground, you cannot shoot again until it's gone. And it only goes out like it shoots like right in front of you. It's not like it goes away. It just like kind of falls out, almost like it's like dripping out of your oil can. But once you step on it, it becomes like a snowboard. You slide across the ground, and you have to like hit enemies with your oil board essentially to do damage. But it's really finicky because sometimes you'll hit them, but you'll also take damage. So the fact that anyone has beaten any levels with Oil Man or Guts Man without taking damage on normal, much less hard, is like mind-boggling. And there are 5 people who have mastered it, and one of them was just 2 days ago. The last one was in July, and so that's why when I looked at it a couple days ago, there were only 4. But as of January 6th, a couple days ago, there's now 5 masteries of that, which is nuts. I am 14th on the leaderboard, though, so that's pretty cool for the perfect set. So, but yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with that, going through and working on the main set, continuing my progress on the 468 set, and most of my time has been spent trying to get perfect with a bunch of the characters on a bunch of the different difficulties, and that's been a lot of fun. So, so yeah, that is pretty much everything that I did for Retro Achievements for December. And then, as I mentioned, I started Metroid Prime, the Prime version of Metroid, just like yesterday on GameCube. But I haven't, played. I've got 7 of the 27 achievements so far. So, but yeah, that's pretty much everything for Retro Achievements for me. So yeah, and we got Dirk, but also known as Amon Ra, coming in saying, "Moo, what's up, Amon Ra? Good to see you, buddy." And dude, your name causes me so much pain. Yep, I know what you mean. So,
yeah, I've had it since I've had Xbox Live, and that account is now probably old enough to actually vote.
This is the only gamer tag I've ever had, my Neo 21. I set that up when I got my 360 in February of 2006. So my gamer tag will be 20 years old next month.
Because I think I got Xbox Live the January after Halo 3
2?
came out.
Oh, Halo 3 came out. Okay. So you would be 2008.
Yeah. So sometime this month is the 18th birthday of my account.
Okay. Yeah. Next year, my gamer tag will be old enough to drink. So, but all right, dude, what about you? What were you working on?
Well, I guess I can go ahead and talk about the live service game I've been playing. Sadly, it's no achievements, but there's in-game achievements for it. And that is Warframe. Because it released a big update like they always do around in December. And this update, it mostly added content, well, not really much story. But what this update actually added was one of the things, on like all MMOs, you can give yourself a title by doing certain things in the game.
Yes.
They finally added titles to your profile in this game.
So I could be like Neo the Destroyer or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, and they didn't have titles before now.
Yep. And most of them were acquired by just giving resources to a vendor that they added into the game.
Okay.
So, of course, quite a few of those resources I had to go back and grind out because I grinded them out perfectly, so I didn't have a whole lot of extras lying around.
Okay.
Because they were more like currencies to a store. And so I had to run through some old content a little bit, but most of those grinds took like less than an hour. It's just more like I had to go back to old content that nobody's really touching for the same. So,
okay. Yeah, it sounds like the answer to this question is probably no, but I was going to say if it's based on stuff you've done in the game, did anything unlock retroactively? But it sounds like
quite a bit did.
Oh, it did. Okay.
Like anything that was challenge based, what did, but all those were you buying them from a store and you had to have the materials for it.
Oh, so if you hadn't already completed the requirements, you would still have to go and complete the requirements, and then you could buy it from the store. Is that right?
No, there's actually 2 separate things because there's a store and there's challenge ones based.
Okay, so there are 2 separate types of titles you can unlock. Okay, gotcha.
And a lot of the challenge based were based on the new modes pretty much because they added a new 21 room tower pretty much where you can get certain resources from, and that one's also based on the new Warframe as well, which is the Devil Frame.
Okay.
So it's based on descending into hell. and they did a really interesting job with it because like every floor is a different mission that's in the rest of the game. And and they have like one punishment going around. Like maybe all the enemies are gigantic, or some of them, or all the enemies are super small.
The small one sounds much worse.
As a shooter, it is, but if you just bring an explosive, it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
You still hit them.
So, do you have all of the titles already?
There's a couple I don't, because they also added because that dating simulator mode that they kind of have, where you can start dating one of the NPCs. They added titles so that you for each of the characters you can date.
Okay.
And I ended up doing all of the ones from the original 1999 mode. But they added 3 new characters that you can start dating, and whenever I did it for the 1999 mode, I felt bad because they got mad at me for breaking up with them. I
I know
felt
that
bad for
feeling.
that.
I know that feeling from like Mass Effect. You have to pick like one over another.
Yeah. But with
So
that, you can do a different playthrough as a single player game. This is like account wide, so you don't really have you don't have a redo button in the same way as you do in that game.
that's a very good point.
Although they do have a way to do a redo button, you have to reset your entire relationship with every character in that group, and it
Okay.
doesn't, and it takes weeks for you to get back to the point where you were.
So yes, it's more efficient to just end it with one and then be like, hey, it's your turn now.
Yeah, pretty much.
That reminds me of a song that was called "My Next Ex-Girlfriend." I want to say it was from Bowling for Soup, but it makes me think of that.
There was this one girl that our parents kind of hung out a lot, so we hung out a lot, and every time that she was dating someone, everyone would always be, it's next ex.
Let's see. Yep, I was right. It was Bowling for Soup. My Next Ex-Girlfriend. Let's see. That was back from like the early 2000s. Oh, really? It's not going to give me the 2004. Yep. That was a good album. I like Bowling for Soup. So, all right. That was what I was going to ask. Is what is your current character's title then?
I chose the Oracle Cell Executor, but that's because of a personal thing with one of my friends in my clan.
What's it called?
Like Oracle Cell Executor.
Oracle Cell.
Oracle Cell is a resource that's rare that you need to use to build a lot of items, and I've kind of gotten to the point where I have so many, I can just throw them at stuff and not even care because I've been playing the game for so long. Well, one of my friends, whenever he was still playing the game, he kind of dropped it, but he would have been like the group that I do the weekly stuff with. He would be the 4th guy in that group, in a four-man game. So it's mainly just me and 2 other people right now. But he kept on needing to go grind this material out because of the new Prime stuff, and he eventually got tired of playing the game because of it. And one of the things I did was that there's a mechanic in the game where it's an infested chair, where you can use that chair to actually put other Warframes abilities on other Warframes. Like it's a specific ability from each Warframe that you can put on others.
Okay.
And but you have to use resources to be able to keep moving abilities around and all that. And one of the resources you can give it is Oracle cells. So what I did was I took the Xbox video record, and I made sure I lowered that to it was 0%, and then I just fed it Oracle cells until it went to 100%. And I use like hundreds of Oracle cells, and by the way, each Prime takes about 15 Oracle cells. So I used hundreds of these Oracle cells, and then I just fed it to the infestation, and that meant that all those resources were gone. I no longer had them.
And
then I recorded
like, that video in his face,
and then I sent it to him as a video.
Like rubbing salt in the wound.
Yep,
that's funny.
I'm already back to over 1,000.
That's great. So,
but some of the other titles that they added were based on the super bosses. Because there's like 3 super bosses in the game, although only 2 of them have a title associated with it. I think it was an oversight for not having the third one.
Oh,
The
they'll
one,
probably fix that then, I would assume.
yeah, because but with that one, it was that whenever they redid the first boss you fight in the game, they also made a harder version of that boss that you can unlock by doing a specific thing on the higher difficulty version of the mission, which is called Steel Path. Every regular mission in the game has a Steel Path version, which just increases the enemy levels and their defenses, but also makes it so that resources drop twice as much.
Okay.
So there was a super boss of him, and for each of these super bosses, there are 6 warframes you have to do them solo with, and you get a glyph that you can put on your profile based on that warframe. The main problem I have with this mechanic is that because the bosses always turn off your abilities, there's literally only one way to build your warframes, and that's literally just to build it around shield gating. So you're all constantly in a shield gate mode where you're not taking damage whenever your shield goes down.
So it kind of ruins the like customizability or like
Yeah,
the
and it also
variability.
It makes it so that the fight is just the same throughout all 6 warframe fights.
Okay. So that sounds like a little bit of a disappointment.
Yeah, and also the fact that you got to put resources into those warframes to get that build working because of the way the mod system works. So I had to spend some time releveling some frames just to get it. But that first one, also I had to rebuild some weapons around, but that wasn't nearly as bad because I could just use the same weapons for each fight for all 6 times, so it wasn't that big of a deal.
Okay.
Because yeah, I see Lord Slash in there.
And say Lord Slash is here saying, "Yeah, what's up, Slash? Good evening to you, sir."
Because the first super boss that doesn't have a title associated with him yet, the best way to fight him is using there's a type of primary weapon called I think it's called spear guns or something like that. But they're pretty much like they're just rods that you can shoot things with. But you could also throw it in the and usually whenever you throw it, there's like a mechanic associated with the with it hitting near enemies. And you want for this one you want to use because it makes it so that every enemy that's in the radius of that slam, whenever you throw it, their heads their weak spots have a magnetic pull towards them. So pretty much you get headshots whenever you shoot at the enemy.
Nice.
And then of course the secondary that you're supposed to use against them is like all about the headshots. So that's how I ended up beating him 6 times.
Okay. So with the
other super bosses were associated with Deimos, and that was the fragmented one. Thing is though, he was actually way worse than before a couple updates ago because there was something called damage attenuation, which as you attack an enemy that has damage attenuation, you do less and less damage with that same weapon until it like lowers the amount of percentage you do, and it just makes enemies more bullet spongy.
Yeah, it's got a diminishing returns.
Yeah. But
sounds annoying.
Since they've made that a lot less of a bullet sponge now, that boss wasn't nearly as bad. I just used a beam weapon, and you just have to keep the beam on the boss while dodging his attacks to make sure you don't die. That's about it.
Okay.
He wasn't too bad. Just having to rebuild the warframes to get to him again over and over again was the bigger thing. And then of course the third super boss is the tank that they added in 1999 mode. And that one's a pain in the butt because of all the stuff that goes on in that first fight phase. But really only want to fight. the, pretty much whenever that tank is there, it spawns with weak points, and you can of course build a weapon to go for those weak points really easily. But you also want to use a primary that strips its armor, so it's much easier to kill that way.
And we're talking about like a tank with a cannon and like treads,
Yes.
right? Not like a tank as in like Warcraft or the big heavy character.
Talking about a tank like you would see in Call of Duty.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I figured. Just want to make sure we're on the same page.
But so pretty much, and of course, once you've gotten those weak points taken care of, then you can just deal damage to the actual tank itself. But the best way to do that is to take RPGs from enemies. But of course, because of the way those enemies are designed, they're bullet sponges as well. So that it's actually better to take them down whenever they're dropping it, because they're dropping in from with balloons as parachutes. So if you shoot the balloons, they can die from fall damage.
Nice.
So the best way to deal with them is to kill them whenever they kill their balloon the moment that you see them.
And then you can take their weapon and use that against the tank.
Yep. And then you do that one more time, and then the second phase happens, and that's whenever the infestation comes and says, "This is my tank now." And
is it kind of like in Prime 2 when the Ing infests something and makes it stronger?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
But and the best way to deal with that phase is literally just use a hammer and just start slamming on it over and over again.
It's hammer time.
Pretty much, yeah. The slam build.
So, with this new update, I know you said you didn't get any achievements, but were there any achievements added and you just didn't get them, or are there no new achievements?
They haven't been adding achievements for a while now, sadly.
That's what I thought. Okay. So you still have 100% on the game, though, right?
Yep.
You
And I would have done that a while ago, because another thing that another mechanic that they added was a super move for your operator mode, and you had to spend a lot of time unlocking those, because there's like 3 different resources from this one new mode, and you get about 20 to 30 per run. You need 150 of each one to get to unlock one of your super moves, and there's 5 super moves to get. So
Okay.
there was a lot of grinding involved with that.
Sounds like quite a bit of a grind.
It was quite a bit of a grind, but because I was on vacation and I just spent a lot of time getting all that. So,
all right.
So pretty much the only titles I don't have right now are tied to
the
dating simulator.
Nice. So, well, yeah, I will be getting around to playing it at some point.
You won't have to play it nearly as much as I do, though.
Yeah, probably, especially someone, if you're there to kind of guide me and help me figure out what is.
Although I still think
use of my time when I start playing the game.
There are 2 really bad grinds though, and that's associated with Railjack and the K drives, which is the
Those are like the sparrows, right, from Destiny. Your little
motorcycles. They're more like hoverboards.
Hoverboards, that's right.
Like Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Because you got to do
basically your vehicle for getting around.
Yeah, and you got to do 100,000 kilometers on that K drive.
Okay.
That's a lot of going around on that.
So just use it as much as possible.
Pretty much, yeah. But the sad thing is that it's only available in the open world sections.
Oh, I remember you mentioning that when we talked about this previously. It's not just, it doesn't count everywhere. It's only in certain areas. That's kind of dumb.
Although there is a Warframe that one of her abilities puts her on a K drive pretty much. I don't know if that counts towards it or not. I'd have to look into it.
Oh, maybe I'm misunderstanding. Is the reason why it only counts when you're in the open world because you can't use it outside of the open world?
Yes, because you can't use them outside the open world.
Oh, okay. So if you somehow could use it outside the open world, it would still count. But
that's what I was wondering, because like whenever I did this achievement, this one Warframe wasn't in the game yet.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well, and I haven't really checked to see if that works.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that when I get.
And she's one of those quest Warframes, so you don't have to really do a whole lot to get her.
Okay. Well, cool. Well, I will keep that in mind when I get around to playing it. Use the K drive as much as possible.
The other one is the Railjack, and that's maxing out all your Railjack stuff, and that just takes hours to do. So,
well, if the game, a free live service game like that, I would think that it would have quite a grind.
yep. Most of the other stuff is pretty easy though.
Okay. All right. Any last thoughts on your Warframe for the month?
Nope, just doing a little bit of last stuff that I can do before I'm like, okay, I can just do the daily login and that's it.
Okay. All right. Well, then for my next up, I went through all my retro achievement stuff, so I will talk about my Xbox side of things. And I talked about it a little bit last episode because the event had started, but we had achievement chasers right at the beginning of the month on December 4th, so it wasn't very far into it. But as usual in December, there is my favorite true achievement event of the year, and that is the 12 Days of Christmas, where on day one, you have to get one achievement that meets some criteria. Then day two is get two achievements that meet that criteria. Day three is three achievements that meet whatever the criteria is for that day, and so on until you get to day 12. And so I completed that. Let's see here. My last achievement was on December 15th. So I beat it, only like halfway through the month. You have it till the end of the month to get through all 12 days of Christmas. Oh, hold on. No, that was when I ended day 12 because they did something very different this year for day 12. But yeah, so day one was earn one achievement with 100 plus TAD, which is true achievement difference, which is the difference between your gamer score and the true achievement value. So you want a achievement with a high achievement score or gamer score that is also a high ratio. I used actually a pretty easy one that's in Quake. The achievement itself was worth 170 gamer score, and the TA is 286, so it's like 116 TAD. But day two was earn two achievements from games with.
I'm pretty sure that Devil May Cry one where I got all S ranks would have counted for that.
I would assume so. That one is a very high ratio.
It's like a 15 ratio.
Yeah, it would depend on what, like, even with a 15 ratio, if the achievement's only worth like 5 points, it
was worth
enough.
more than 5.
But if it was worth, a decent number of gamer score, then it absolutely would have qualified.
I think that one was worth at least 50.
I would hope so for being that difficult. So day two is earn two achievements from games with a 4 or higher site rating from 100 plus users. Like the community vote on how good this game is had to have a 4 stars out of 5 or higher. Day three was earn 3 achievements in games previously in the top 100 of the most popular games of the week chart, but is not currently in there. Day two, I did 2 achievements from BioShock. Day three, I did 3 achievements from Mullet Mad Jack. Day 4 was earn 4 achievements with 3 consecutive zeros in the title. And so I did 4 achievements from from Space Marine, because Warhammer 40,000 has 4 zeros in a row. So all those Warhammer achievements counted. Day 5 was earn 5 achievements in games released from 2006 to 2011 or variants. So I did 5 achievements in Gears of War Reloaded, since it's a variant of the original Gears of War, which came out in that time frame. Day 6 is a spelling one. Those are my favorite, where you have to spell a word, and you have to use the first letter of the achievement to spell out the letter, or spell out the word. And it was day 6, so it's a 6-letter word. The word was slay, SLEIGH. So I used someone's paying attention from the game called Slain for the S. The L was land the ship from the game The Gunk. E was from evolutionary step from Prototype. The I was introductions from the game Dredge. The G was the achievement Get Used to It from the game Danger Scavenger. And then the H was Hack the Vending Machine from BioShock. I'd mentioned BioShock. All these BioShock achievements, because I used it for a few different days, are all from BioShock Remastered. Then day 7 was earn 7 achievements in games released since 2002 that have 20,000 or more gamers. And so I just did all 7 of those in Mullet Mad Jack. Day 8 was 8 achievements in handheld optimized games. And I did 6 achievements from Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2. And then 2 achievements from Wolfenstein The Old Blood. Day 9 was earn 9 achievements in any sports game, racing game, or music and rhythm game, which that was probably the most difficult one because I had almost no games to pick from because like the previous years, I try not to start any new games. I try to do it with only games I've already started. And I had very few games to pick from. So I got 1 achievement in Tony Hawk 3+4. And then the other 8 achievements were all from a game that I'm going to be talking about in a few minutes called Urban Trial Tricky. And I actually, there's only like, I think there's 10 achievements in that game, and I already had 2 of them. So those 8 achievements I got for that day gave me the completion in that game. So I'll talk about that in a few minutes. Day 10, I basically the same thing where all 10 of these achievements I used for one game, and it only had like 11 achievements, and I already had one. So what gave me the completion? And that was earn 10 achievements in a game developed or published by Bethesda, Ubisoft, 505, Activision, or Outright Games. And I got all 10 of those in the Discovery Tour Viking quest, which is the like the historical. The last few Assassin's Creed games have had this Discovery Tour mode where you can go and learn about like everyday life in whatever setting they were in. They started with Assassin's Creed Origins, so you could go and find out about everyday life in Egypt at the time, and then Odyssey had one of those where you find out about everyday life in the Mediterranean at that time, and they did it with Valhalla, but it was its own standalone game. So that's what that was. It was about living in the Viking age, like I don't know, like 1400s, and I don't know exactly what country it was in, but it was like Viking related. So then day 11 was 11 achievements in games released in 2025 that have been on sale. I did all 11 of those in Ninja Gaiden 4, which I'll also be talking about later. And then day 12, this is something they haven't done before. Instead of having 12 achievements of some requirement, they had another event they did earlier this year. I think it was like March or May, somewhere in that area. It was in spring. It was called Boss Rush. And they did a mini boss rush. And so there were 3 bosses, and each boss had a strength against certain types of achievements and a weakness towards certain types of achievements. So like their strength may mean that if you do an achievement that meets this requirement and they're strong to it, you'll only do like half damage, or you may only do 25% damage to their health bar. But if they're weak to it, you may do double or triple or quadruple damage based on the value of the achievement that you got.
Sounds like Pokemon.
Yeah. So the first boss was Mr. Freeze, which is the only one you actually had to beat to get credit for completing the 12 Days of Christmas. And he had 1,200 hit points. Then the second boss was Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas. And then the final boss.
Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, is he in Kingdom Hearts?
Yes.
And then the final boss was called Santa Claus.
Just to mess with James and okay.
Oogie Boogie had 2,400 HP, and then Santa Claus, which is CLAWZ, had 3,600 hit points. And each of those, like I said, had different strength and weaknesses. And I did beat all 3 of those bosses. So it doesn't show me what achievements I used for it, so I can't really tell, but I did beat all 3 of those bosses. So I did complete the 12 Days of Christmas as usual. And that is always a very fun event. So, okay. So a couple of games, I'll kind of go through a couple of short games here, and then I'll kick it over to you. And then I'll cut on my next one. I'll talk about a couple of more games in depth. So one game that I didn't play a whole lot of, I was like, you know what, let's go ahead and play it, because it was not for 3 reasons really. Or this game, I set as the Metroidvania of the month in the Xbox Metroidvania contest I've been running, which I decided I was not going to keep it going. So we did it for 4 years. It was a fun run, but there over the last couple of years, there's been a lot of waning interest. So that has now ended, but December was the last month, and we're still doing the Metroidvania of the month every month, but now it doesn't actually count towards any competition or anything. But I went ahead and threw this game in because it was Christmas time. I was like, you know what, let's go ahead and have this be a Metroidvania of the month as well. And that is Ebenezer and the Invisible World. It's a Metroidvania where you play as Ebenezer Scrooge after he, I don't know how far after, but it's after the Christmas Story where he's visited by the ghost. He's, he's a good guy now. He's not a curmudgeonly old, a-hole. And it's Christmas time in Victorian England. It's got a pretty art style. There are some bad guys that are kind of terrorizing the town. And then there's also these like ghosts that some of them are bad and you have to defeat them, and other ones are need your help to like release their spirits or something. So I was like, let's go ahead and play this for a Metroidvania at the end of the year. It's Christmas time. It's Metroidvania of the month. I think I got like 3 or 4 achievements and I just fell off it. What did not hook me. So I'll probably give it another shot next December. But I was not really feeling it. So I only played a little bit of it and I wasn't a huge fan of it. So I didn't play a whole lot of it, but I did get a couple of achievements. And I was like, you know what? I'll save this for a later time. So that was Ebenezer in the Invisible World. The best thing about it so far is probably the art style. It's a pretty looking game. The next one is, I talked about this a lot last episode, but I did finish it up before it's going offline next week on Monday is the last day. That is Anthem. And I opened it on stream last night, but I now have, you can't see it because my camera is angled too low. There we go. I now have a steel case of it as of last night. I already had the physical, just the regular one, but Carl sent me a little gift and he sent me a steel case, and now I have it in my steel case. But Anthem, I had basically done everything in the game except for that last achievement last month. And I finished it up at the beginning of early on in December. I don't remember what day I got the last achievement, but there is an achievement for getting all the collectibles, and the collectibles are a real pain in the butt, but I did that. So I now have the 100% in Anthem, and that game is shutting down as of Monday. It is an online only game. So once the servers are down, you can no longer play it. So it will no longer be playable in any form ever again as of Monday. I finished it off in early December. And one of the funny things, it has like, let's say it has about 50 achievements or so in the game. 49 of them have the highest ratio is like a 2.4 ratio. So they're all pretty easy. And then that one collectible achievement is like a 7. So it's like way higher ratio than all the other achievements because it's just such a pain in the butt because there's so freaking many of them. Some of them are always there. So you can go and follow a video guide and just go around the map and pick them up. But there's another, because there's a couple different types of collectibles. There's another collectible type that spawns randomly. And you just got to go to all the different areas that you know it spawns and hope that they spawn. And you have to get a bunch of them. Fortunately, when they do spawn, you can like pick it up and fly away a little bit and come back. You can pick it up 3 or 4 or 5 times before it despawns. So that helps make it a little bit easier, but that one is a pain in the butt because you can't always find it in the same spot. So that's the worst part about the collectible.
Yeah, I remember that one being annoying
in Anthem. But I finished that off in early December and got the 100%. So I don't have to worry about having any unattainables in that game. And overall, even though it was a very mediocre game, it got a lot more hate than I think it deserved because it was a decently well put together game. I didn't really have any bugs or anything. It just had a lot of wasted potential.
You do realize it probably had way more bugs whenever it just came out.
I didn't even play this until July for the first time. I did play the demo when it first came out, and that was one thing that really put me off from the game. My biggest issue with the game by far is the load times are egregious. Even on my Series X, sometimes they took 2, 3, 4 minutes. It was ridiculous how long the load times took. That's easily the worst part about the game. But I think it got more hate than it deserved. I enjoyed my time with it. It's just a very mediocre game, but I enjoyed my time with it. So, yeah. So that was Anthem.
Too bad there's no offline version of it.
Yeah, and it's dumb when they have these online only and they shut them down and you just literally no way to play them again. Stop killing games.
I hope that Warframe has a contingency for whenever its servers go down.
When it reaches the end of life.
But I don't think that's going to be anytime soon right now.
Yeah, probably not. It still seems to be pretty popular.
Unlike Anthem, it actually has a player base.
And it got support after it released.
Yep.
So, all right, what do you got next?
Well, I can go ahead and talk about a game I played with someone on stream, and then I ended up playing the older versions of it on my own, and that was Overcooked.
Oh, wait. You didn't play with us.
No, I played with Imp.
You played with Imp. Because wait a minute, because I played Overcooked on Steam with Winter Prince right after Thanksgiving. We've done that the last couple of years, and Static joined us. So I was like, wait a minute, dude wasn't with us. So you played it with Imp. Okay. That
I thought it would be fun because he is a chef.
He's a cook. Yes, he's a chef.
And I used to work in fast food, so I was like, you know what? Let's show Kay and James how it's done.
So when I played with Winter Prince, we do Overcooked 2. Which one do you play? Because there's like 3 or 4 different.
We went in and played all you can eat because that one has the best track record with it when it comes to the online.
Okay, I have
especially since it has crossplay as well.
Okay. Oh, I did not know that.
And pretty much all you can eat is literally just all of the 1 and 2 and all the DLCs put together.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
So that was the first time you could play the first game online. So, because the first game does not have online.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Oh my!
The first game doesn't.
That is awful.
But you got to remember.
I've played the first one, but
it's made by a small team. So
I've only played the first one in couch co-op. I just assumed it had online co-op. I didn't realize it does not have online co-op. Wow.
But yeah, me and Imp, the first night we ended up playing through the entire first game's content in one night, and then we ended up doing this second game's content in a single night as well. At least the main campaigns, not the DLCs. And we ended up 3-starring every kitchen as well.
Nice. What were you guys playing it on?
We were playing on Steam.
Okay. Yeah, I was playing as I mentioned, when Winter Prince and I played Overcooked 2, we were doing it on Steam as well. So I don't think I got any achievements though.
I think we did it only on his channel. So you won't find it on my channel.
Oh, the stream of it?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because like for Overcooked, it doesn't make as much sense to do multi-stream. Because
everyone can see everything anyways.
Yeah.
Not like you have
it's not like Halo or Call of Duty or those other games that the company boys play where you get like different angles.
Everyone's on screen all the time anyways.
Yep.
Okay. So you basically beat the whole game?
We still got to do the DLC stuff.
Oh, okay.
Because there are some of the DLC campaigns have achievements tied to them on the all you can eat package.
Okay. So do you know about how many achievements you got?
Let me see.
I'm assuming you got the 3-star every kitchen in
yeah, we got 21 out of 42 so far.
Nice. Already at 50%.
Yep. And when I was done with that, the next day I literally fired up the original Overcooked on Steam and got all 12 achievements that next day.
I still have to go back because I haven't played it in years, but I'm still stuck close to the end because it's ridiculous how you have like the last couple kitchens, the unlock requirements is basically 3-star every kitchen. There is an achievement for 3-starring every kitchen, but I just can't even get the story completion because I can't unlock the last couple kitchens. It's like if I beat the previous kitchen, I should unlock the next one. But no, it's like here's how many stars you need to have to unlock this one, and it's basically you can only like not have 3-starred like 2 levels in order to unlock these last couple levels.
Meanwhile, me, I casually 3-star every single one nowadays.
Yeah, it's frustrating the way that the level unlock in the first one is. So I do plan to go back and 100% it someday. It's just not very.
It's not a difficult game. I think I did it in like a couple hours. Because the let me look at the metagamer score. Because I got the first achievement on 12:10 at 9 o'clock in the morning, 9:30 in the morning. 12:10, 2:45 in the afternoon. So
and is this on the Xbox One?
This is the Steam version.
Okay.
So I was able to pretty much, and you got to remember, I also probably sat down and ate lunch too.
Yeah. You're just a better, both in real life, you're definitely a better cook because I don't know how to cook. But also in video games then.
I do have one more stack on that game. I can do it. That's on PS4.
Okay. Are you planning on doing that?
Eventually. But I've also recently been playing Overcooked 2 on GOG.
Does that version have achievements?
Yes, it does.
Okay, because it's weird. GOG, like some games have, there could be a game on that has achievements on Xbox and on PlayStation, but the GOG version doesn't have achievements. And then there could be a game on GOG that has achievements, and then, well, obviously not on Xbox, but or unless it was like an older one. But yeah, it's weird what games have GOG achievements and which ones don't.
It just depends on who actually took the time to actually put the achievements in the game. But yeah, with Overcooked 2, I've been playing that for about the past couple nights, and I've already beaten the main game and gotten all 3 stars in every level in the main game. And I've already started moving on to the one of the DLCs for that game.
Okay. Yeah, the
I
first
picked it up on GOG because I think it was on sale.
Okay.
And I think Overcooked 1 is also on GOG, but Overcooked 1 doesn't have achievements on GOG.
Okay. Yeah, there's an example. Like Overcooked 1 has achievements on Xbox, and I'm assuming it has achievements on PlayStation, but it doesn't on GOG.
And it does have it on Steam, so.
Yeah, and on Steam. So, but yeah, the first time I played Overcooked, when you're playing a single player, you're still controlling 2 chefs. You have to switch back and forth between the 2. I was like, oh, this would be so much easier in co-op. But then when you add a second player in, it increases the requirements you need in order to get 3 stars. So it actually makes it more difficult.
Well, and not really, because you also spend less time on each station whenever you're playing co-op as well.
Yeah. So
whenever you're cutting something, whenever you're cutting something, you cut it a lot faster in co-op than you do in single player.
Yeah. So it kind of balances to how many players you have, but it's not, if I add more players, it's automatically going to be easier. The requirements scale with the number of players so that it still stays difficult.
Yep.
So, all right.
So I've just been having fun with those games.
Those are, yeah, the Overcooked games are fun, and it's definitely fun to watch people cause chaos and fighting each other while playing.
Meanwhile, me and Imp, it was almost full co-op.
You guys weren't getting in each other's ways. You guys had your jobs nailed down.
Pretty much, yeah.
Nice.
There were a couple of levels we had to do a couple of times, but after 2 or 3 tries, that we eventually got those usually.
You guys were a well-oiled machine.
Pretty much, yeah.
Nice.
It looked like a chump.
So, all right. Then for my next one, I will go ahead and talk about a game that I played a number of years ago. I pulled it up the other day. I want to say 2021. I'll have it here in just a moment as I stall for a few more seconds. 2022. So I played it February of 2022. So almost 4 years ago. And that is Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. So I played that one back in 2022. And so I played it again, except the first time I played the Xbox version. Playing it again just last month, I played the Windows version and 100%ed that because I immediately went into Hellblade 2, which I'll talk about next month because I'm about halfway through the game right now. But Hellblade 1 is, I really enjoyed it when I played it the first time. And I didn't remember a lot of the game, just remembered that I liked it. So the best way to describe Hellblade is a walking simulator with some combat and some puzzle elements. So how it works is that you have these walking simulator areas where you're just kind of walking around, and there's these perspective puzzles where you have to line up certain items in the environment to make certain forms, which then basically unlock the door that you need to get through. So you go to a door, it's locked, and it has these runes on the door that are these odd shapes, and you have to go and find stuff in the nearby vicinity that makes that shape, and then each one of those shapes you find kind of unlocks that rune on the door. Once you got all 2 or 3 or how many runes are on the door, once you found those shapes out in the environment, it'll unlock that door and you can continue. And every once in a while, you'll get into a combat situation, which is always not always. In 2, it's always, as far as I've played so far, in 2, it's always one-on-one. But in the first one, the combat early on is like one-on-one, but then they start adding more and more. It's a short game. It's like a 6 to 8 hour completion, so it's not a terribly long game. I think there's only like I think there's a total of like 14 chapters, but a lot of them are very short chapters. But some of the combat encounters, for the most part, they'll usually be 2 or 3 enemies at a time. Then at the very end, there's a couple of combat encounters where you're fighting like 5 or 6 or even 7 enemies at a time. They can get a little hectic. But even so, it's not very difficult. I don't remember if the first one even has a difficulty setting. But the combat is pretty good. I like it. And the puzzle solving, I like puzzles, and I don't mind the walking simulator element of it. It's got the material of the game is very kind of messed up. You play as Senua, and she basically lives in Viking times, and her, I don't know exactly if he was technically her husband or whether they were just madly in love, but he gets killed and she goes like on a not exactly a revenge quest, but she goes on a quest to basically the underworld in order to get his soul back, to bring him back to life. But she also suffers from, I guess the best way to call it is schizophrenia, and not in the like multiple personality disorder, but in the like she hears voices in her head. And this is one of the epitome of a game you should play with headphones, because it makes the experience so much more immersive. Because when you're playing with headphones or a really good surround sound system, you're hearing the voices like whispering to you from different areas, just like she would be hearing them. So I definitely recommend playing this game.
Kind of like when you play Doom 3.
I haven't played it yet,
things
so
going through
I don't know. But before I played it the first time back in 2022,
that's creepy in a different way.
Yeah. It is a very creepy game because it's very dark and disturbing, and there's lots of like dead bodies everywhere, and everything is destroyed. All the buildings or houses are burned down. So it's very dark and gloomy game for sure. There is no
sounds like a game I'll be talking about in a little bit.
There's no ray of hope or any sunshine or any brightness in this game. It's very dark and depressing. But it's a very good looking game, and like I said, it's very short. It's a AAA or it's a AA game. But before I played it the first time, someone told me, like, when you play Hellblade, absolutely play with the headphones. So when the first time I did it, I played with headphones. When I played it again this time, I also made sure to play it with headphones on, and that'll definitely increase your improve the experience. But it's a very pretty straightforward game. There are only 14 achievements, and I think like all but like 2 of them are just story related, so they can't be missed. No, all but 1 of them are story related. The only one you can miss is there is one collectible type in the game called lore stones, and there's like, I don't know, there's like 20 of them, and they're typically pretty easy to find. But I did have a video guide up next to me on my iPad just to make sure I didn't walk past it, because there's no chapter select. If you miss it, you have to play through the whole game again. So I just looked up like where the next one was, so I knew when to like go out of my way to find it, so I didn't miss it. But even if you don't and you're just keeping your eye out, you'll probably come across most, if not all of them. They're not really that hidden. But each one of those lore stones will also kind of give you basically some background, because you'll hear the voice of kind of like your mentor. His name is Druth. And every time you go up to one of these lore stones, you'll hear him kind of reciting a story. And as you get each lore stone, there's all these symbols around a circle, and each time you find one, the next one in the sequence lights up. So if you missed one or not, because then there'll be a gap and be like, oh, I missed that one. You may be able to go back and get it because it may be in the same area. But if you like drop down a ledge and you can't go back up that ledge, then the only way to do it would be there might be a restart level. I don't remember. I didn't miss any, so I can't say for certain. But you'll know if you missed one, because they'll be, they go from red to blue. So if any are red, you missed one. Fortunately, I didn't miss any of them, so I was able to get them all in one go. And so, yeah, like I said, it's a pretty short game, 6 to 8 hours. Mine says that I did this one in 12 and a half hours. I don't feel like that's exactly accurate, but it's a great game, and I definitely recommend it. Like I said, it's a short. It's on Game Pass if you have Game Pass. I like the combat. It's just it's not too combat heavy. You have combat sections, and then you got puzzle sections, so they are distinct. They don't really overlap with each other. And there's a lot of Norse mythology and talking about like Thor and Odin and Loki and Hela and all the characters that I learned about through the MCU. I knew nothing about Norse mythology. But yeah, you're basically journeying into the underworld.
You uncultured swine.
Yeah. You're journeying into the underworld to try to reclaim the soul of your beloved Dillion was his name. And her coming to terms with maybe I can't do this. And so it's a total mind F of a game. Like you never really know what is not what is happening, but you never know what is true and what isn't, because things are constantly like shifting and changing like right before your eyes, and things that you may think are there aren't, and vice versa. So the game is always messing with your head, because that's what's going on with Senua is her head is being messed with the whole time. So it's a really great game. And it's for being a AA game, it's a really pretty game as well. And it's got a great narrative. And I immediately went into Hellblade 2, which I have not played yet. And I'll talk about that one next month, because I'm only about halfway through it. But I think I'm about halfway through Hellblade 2 right now. And my goodness, this might be the most visually impressive game I've ever seen in my life. It is gorgeous. But so far, it's very similar in the way it plays, but I'll get more into that next month. So I see Phoenix Santos is in chat. What is up, Phoenix? Good evening to you, sir. So I'll go ahead and talk about this one then before we move on, because I got a couple other short ones that I can talk about after my next one. But keeping in the theme of Norse mythology and Vikings and stuff, as I mentioned earlier, for day 8, I think it was, I went and I played through all of the Discovery Tour Viking Age, and that was like I said, it's the Discovery Tour version for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Although I haven't played Valhalla yet, so I don't know exactly how it connects, but it takes place in, probably, I do know that in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you start off in like your homeland, which I don't know where that is, whether it's like Iceland or Greenland or something, but I do know that you go across the sea and invade, what is current day England. But I think this Discovery Tour takes place entirely in your homeland before you leave on that quest, but you're not playing as Eivor from the game. You're playing as this couple, I forget their names, and just kind of like going through their everyday life. And they actually added, because the first 2 Discovery Tours is like it gives you like almost like a tour of a museum, like a go at your own pace, where you have something where you like clip on and you listen to each of the spots you go to. That's how the first 2 are. This one actually has like a quest where you're living your life in Viking society, and your character has a dream of like moving to a new land where they have more room to expand, and they want to have a better life, but you have this guy that's accusing you of being a fraud, and so you have to go and find evidence and clear your name. And
he's a big fat phony.
He's a phony. So it actually has a little bit of a quest to it as well. And it connects with Assassin's Creed Valhalla somehow. I just don't know, since I haven't played Valhalla. But it's pretty short as well. I think it says it's like a 3 to 4 hour completion. And there are, pulling it up here, Viking. There are 12 achievements. And I had, let's see here. I got the first one back in June when I did my dive, and then I got one achievement in this game in November. I don't remember why. I think it was just to keep my streak alive, because I didn't have any other achievements that day. And then the other 10 achievements I got in December for that, in order to fulfill that day that I was working on for 12 Days of Christmas. And most of the achievements were just kind of going through that quest, but there are a couple of collectibles that you have to get. And fortunately, if you miss them, because you go through a couple short chapters, and some of these areas are separated from the others, so you have to actually replay the previous chapter to get the ones that you missed. But they save like as soon as you collect them, so you don't have to go back and like redo the whole chapter. But I did have to go back to one of the previous chapters to get one or two of them that I missed. But they're pretty easy to find because for the most part they show up on the map. There's one or two of them that don't. And those are the ones that I missed. So I had to actually look up a guide to find where the ones that I missed were. But yeah, that one has only 12 achievements, and it also it's the genre on it is educational and trivia. It's not like Assassin's Creed. You're not actually killing anybody. You're not an assassin. So if you're interested in history, these discovery tours on the more recent Assassin's Creeds have been really fascinating. So that was another one that I played through and got all the achievements, finished off that day for 12 Days of Christmas, and got another completion before the end of the year. So Phoenix. Oh, I said hi to Phoenix, but I actually didn't read what your chat says. Hello, Neo in chat. How are things? Things are well. Things are back to full steam ahead after taking a little couple weeks off for the Christmas holiday and New Year's, but we're back at it. So, in other words, she is crazy. Oh, talking about Senua from Hellblade. Yeah, you could say she's crazy. So yes. So, all right. Do you want to go, or do you want me to go more?
I can go again. I can go for the next. I can talk about the only Xbox game I played.
Okay.
And that is, I went ahead and started Clair Obscur, Expedition 33.
Ah, okay.
And that one got interrupted because of the Warframe update, though. But I've been enjoying it so far. I'm most of the way through Act 2. I think there's only 3 acts, so I'll eventually start getting more and more achievements in that game.
So, how many do you have so far, and how many are there in total?
Let me check. I have 22 out of 55, but a lot of it's like in-game stuff. Like you get towards the end of the game, like the super bosses and collecting stuff.
So, is the stuff you've gotten so far basically all like story progression?
Pretty much, yeah.
So,
and I made sure to check the achievement list just to see if what was missable, and I made sure I didn't miss the missables.
That's what I was just gonna ask. So, what are the missables?
There weren't many missables. One of them is a story related missable because of a character leaving the party. You had to do a specific thing with that character in a battle.
Oh,
but okay. As long as you were paying attention, you were usually doing that. And then the other one.
So it's one of those missables that's kind of hard to miss.
Yeah. As long as you're playing the game correctly and you're using that character. And the other one is you had to pick up a key at the beginning of the game that you couldn't get any other time. That allows you to get a specific journal. Because there's an achievement for finding all journals.
That one sounds easy to miss.
Yeah, that one is super easy to miss, but as long as you know where to get it and when to get it, you're fine.
Okay. So how it sounds like you're what'd you say, about a third of the way through the game?
I'm probably about halfway through the game.
Halfway. Basically,
at least with the story based. But of course there's a lot of achievements tied to like side quests and all that.
Okay. And how are you liking it so far?
I'm enjoying it so far. It's just that
spread.
It's not that good, but it's a pretty good game from last year. I'd say it's my favorite game of last year so far.
Okay.
That's just because of Prime 4's shortcomings.
Understandable. What is the completion estimate?
Let me check the true achievements.
And while you're looking that up, Phoenix says Expedition 33 is a good one. There are tisms with the story, but it's a good one.
It apparently has a 60 to 80 hour, which isn't too bad for a JRPG.
Yeah, I was going to say essentially a JRPG.
The worst thing it's doing is making me think that the French are people.
So
hey, it's on sale for $10 off right now on Xbox.
Okay.
At least according to true achievements. Unless I need to refresh. Oh no, it's not on sale. Never mind.
It was on sale.
It was on sale for $10 off, but
it is still on Game Pass if you have Game Pass.
Yeah, and it's a $50 game, so it's not like a full price game.
That's impressive.
Yeah, and it's a really good game.
Do you think it's worthy of all the accolades it got? At least so far?
I think so far, yeah.
Okay. Phoenix says Act 3 is the shortest, but it's the side stuff that gets its weft.
I do like that they added that the last character that you get in your party is a blue mage, and blue mage is a type of character where they can use enemy abilities, and usually in Final Fantasy a blue mage would gain the abilities by having that ability be used on them.
Okay.
Well, in this game, the blue mage gains those abilities by collecting the feet of the enemies.
The feet?
Yes.
So is there something you have to do in order to collect the feet of an enemy?
Make sure he's in the party whenever you fight that enemy.
Okay. Like we're talking about like the things at the bottom of your legs that you walk around on.
He automatically collects the feet after the battle if he was one of the party members.
Okay. It's like it sounds like you would have to do something specific in order to collect their feet, but
nope.
As long as he's in your party, okay.
That was just an interesting way to do a blue mage. I thought I'd talk about it. He's the only non-human character in your party too.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So while talking about blue mage, which is that what they're called in Expedition, or are you just calling it blue mage because that's how they work in Final Fantasy?
That is because that's how they work, and that's the name of the class in Final Fantasy.
Okay. But shout out to Final Fantasy 1 Pixel Remastered, just joined Game Pass yesterday, I think it was. For anybody who has Game Pass and is interested in that.
That's the most replayable Final Fantasy, in my opinion.
Okay. So, and Phoenix says Act 3 has a lot of side areas. I side more. Most of the content is the side. Oh, most of the content is in the side content, not the main content. Yeah.
Don't let Godzilla read that.
Yes, it's French. 2 female characters are barefooted. So, okay. Do you foresee any of the upcoming achievements that you have left being? Do you expect them to be fairly any difficult, or do you think it's pretty straightforward as long as you do all the side?
I think it's mostly straightforward outside of some of the bosses, but that was me figuring out how to use the battle system for those bosses.
Okay.
And I was actually kind of amazed. I actually ended up getting an achievement for beating a boss without getting hit, without even really trying.
Nice.
Because I ended up getting that the first try on a boss.
That sounds awesome, especially for a turn-based game.
Especially with it being the parry type mechanic system.
Yeah, the active combat, active turn-based combat, which is
if you would try
interests me the most about it.
If you wanted to play a turn-based game, you'd probably play one that's like that. But I would suggest the Mario and Luigi series first before Clair Obscura.
Really?
Yes.
See, I'd rather play Clair Obscura than a Mario and Luigi RPG.
The Mario and Luigi ones are really fun.
Okay, well,
and Retro Achievements does have their support, so
I would assume so.
Let me check that. Which ones they?
I know I pulled them up on a stream not that long ago to see which ones did and which ones didn't, because one of them is on 3DS, right? So that one obviously doesn't have support.
Yeah, that one's not, but I know the GBA one is supported.
Yeah,
that one's a really good one. There are 5 games with 3 of them having achievements. So yeah, so both the DS games and the GBA game are already supported.
And the 2 that don't have support, one's 3DS and what's the other one?
Both of them are 3DS.
They're both 3DS. Okay.
Although technically there should be 6 Mario and Luigi if that's the case, because
the Switch
Superstar Saga got re-released on 3DS.
Oh, okay.
There was one of those re-releases that they did an upgrade.
Is it a port or is it like an upgrade like Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time 3D?
It's like the upgrade.
Okay. Nice.
Although I think that one's more well regarded than the Majora's Mask one, at least. So.
Okay.
Although I know I think the Bowser's Inside Story also got a remake on 3DS, and everyone was like, "Why?"
Was that one that people weren't particularly fond of?
Well, let's just say, no, everyone loved Bowser's Inside Story, but it came out after the Switch came out, and the Bowser's Inside Story was already a DS game, so it could already be played on the 3DS. So you see where the problem was.
Why did they just put it on Switch?
Why didn't you just put it on Switch? Pretty much was the whole thing. And of course, because it was a DS game, you could play it on your 3DS directly. Because
you can put DS games in, play them on a 3DS.
Yes.
Okay.
It's just that by the time the DS was done, you could no longer put GBA cartridges in, so everyone was fine with the 3DS getting the GBA upgrade game.
That was going to be my next question, because like my DS, I can put my GBA games into. Does the 3DS have a GBA support?
No.
It does
and actually,
not.
The original DS and the DS Lite can do GBA. Every DS after the Lite cannot use GBA.
I did not know that. So
because the DSi was the next one, and that one had that was the first time they did an online store for a portable, and that one did not have a GBA slot.
Oh, okay. I thought that store wasn't introduced. I had heard DSi, but I didn't know what.
I think there was like 15 games on that store though, but it wasn't like crazy amount.
Okay.
They also had like cameras onto the DSi as well.
That makes some sense then. Oh yeah, okay, I have seen that.
So there were some DSi enhanced games that used the camera, but there weren't really that much of an enhancement.
Yeah, so the DSi is kind of like that half-step console between the DS and the 3DS.
Yep.
Gotcha. Kind of like the between the Xbox One and the Series, there's the 1X.
Yep. But hopefully before the next stream, I'll have more to talk about with Clair Obscur.
Okay.
But it did a good job of making me cry within the first 30 minutes.
I've heard that it's a real tearjerker.
Of course, one of the tearjerker moments, I already knew what was going to happen because I got spoiled on that.
Oh, did it still get some tears, or
not really, because I was expecting it, and
okay.
I think that with that one, it was more how sudden it was. Like the one at the very beginning of the game, it's one of those moments where you like know it's going to happen before it really explains it, and it ends up happening, but you still get emotionally attached to the character.
Yeah.
It's an interesting. It's like how Up started. You know that Disney movie?
Oh yeah. I was like, how Up? What started? Up started. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that how they told no dialogue. They told a real heart-wrenching story in just a couple
and
minutes.
That's in the first 5 minutes.
Oh my goodness! All right.
So Clair Obscur kind of has the same thing, but they have a bit more dialogue with it. Although the dialogue doesn't really address what's going to happen until it happens. Because in that world, everyone knows it's going to happen.
Okay. What little I know about the game, I think I know what you're talking about.
The Gommage.
So, all right. Well, then I will move on to my next one, or a couple more I'll go through because I got couple of shorter ones to talk about. So this is a quick one, so I'll start off with this one. And I wasn't planning on playing it, but I just ended up playing it and just had some dumb fun with it. And it's a really short game, so I just ended up doing the whole thing. And that was a game about digging a hole. And so the funny thing about this game is because it joined Game Pass recently, and I was like, I've heard, it's
didn't James end up playing that on a gifted games gallery or something?
If he did, I missed it. But one of the funny things about it is that the first achievement is for beating the game, and then you unlock achievement mode, and you basically have to go through the game again and get achievements. And so it kind of messes with you. It's got some, it's one of those like friend slop games, but it's only I'm pretty sure you can only play it solo because it's a very small game. It's has a short little cutscene at the beginning of the game where someone puts up like a flyer in the middle of his neighborhood, be like, hey, buy this house, and maybe you'll find gold in the backyard. And so you end up in this house, and there's just an X in the middle of this backyard, and you have a shovel, and for some reason your shovel takes battery power to operate. And every time you dig, your battery energy goes down, which makes no sense whatsoever. But you have to you just have like this small backyard. It's literally like maybe 15 feet by 15 feet, but you start digging and you find different types of rocks. So the ones at the top are, the just like stone, and you can only hold a couple at a time. And then so every time you're full, you have to go back into your garage and you sell your rocks on your computer to, I don't know who's going to buy a rock, but you sell a rock for like $1. And then as you, like the first couple upgrades cost like $6.
Don't you know the pioneers use those for miles?
Oh, yeah. So the first set of upgrades are like $6 each. So you have to, and you can only hold like 3 at a time. So you have to go dig up 3, sell them, then dig up 3 more, and then you can buy your first upgrade. And your upgrades are for like increasing the range at which each of your shovel digs. So as you upgrade it, you shovel more and more space with each dig. The amount of battery power you have, or it could be conceived either way, in that you have a higher battery capacity or that your battery is more efficient. It's basically the same thing, but you can shovel more times before your battery runs out. Then you can increase the size of your backpack so you can hold more for each, so you can go down farther without running out of space. And then the last one is you get it, because as you dig down in this hole, it can be difficult to get back up. So you get a jetpack, and your jetpack is very weak at the beginning. So you have to increase the efficiency of your jetpack, which also runs on the same battery meter as your shovel does. So if you run out of battery and you're at the bottom of if you run out of battery, you die. So if you don't want to hit that last point, you can get it super low, and if you can climb out, you can climb out. But if you can't climb out, then you're stuck down there, and you'll die if you do it again. But the only punishment to dying is that you lose whatever rocks you have currently in your inventory. So and the other thing is you have 2 meters. One's that battery, and one is your health, because you can fall and take fall damage. And so if you die, when you respawn, your health and battery are very low. So you have to you have to find more rocks to buy your health and battery capacity, because you have one computer where you sell your rocks at, and then right on the other side is a little workstation, and that's where you buy your upgrades with the money that you get from selling your rocks. So but as you dig deeper, you get better types of materials. So like at the top level, there's just stone, which is worth like $1. And then you get a little bit farther down and you get what was like the next one? It was like
Copper.
Copper, and then there's iron. And as you get deeper, you get like silver, gold, platinum, and I think the best one is diamond. And each one of those is obviously worth a lot more than the previous one. So
you know what?
Yeah.
With all that down there, I think the guy was actually right.
Yeah. So with all these rocks, you basically could sell them for a lot of money. And so once you have to keep digging, and you have to come back, every once in a while to sell your rocks and then upgrade your equipment. And there's a couple things that you can buy, because it gets dark down there. So you have to buy some light so you can stick them around so you can see what you're doing down there. You have to buy dynamite, because you'll come across like large rocks that you either have to dig around them or you have to blow them up with dynamite. And once you get all the way to the very bottom, you get into like this cave network. And for some reason, some inexplicable reason, all of a sudden your shovel and your jetpack don't work anymore. But you go through these caves, and there's these giant moles, like the creatures. And if they see you and they get too close, it'll kill you. So the goal is to get through these, dig all the way down and get through this tunnel and get to the end of the tunnel. And there's a treasure chest there. And that's where the gold is. But spoiler alert, it's empty. And then you turn around and there's a bunch of moles there, and they all jump you and kill you. And that's the end of the game. So that's you have to do all that to beat the game, and then you unlock your first achievement. Then you unlock achievement mode, and you have to do a bunch of just goofy stuff. Let me pull it up here to look at what the achievements are. There's only 10 achievements, and it says it's 2 to 3 hour completion. My time says 5.5 hours, but I think I was sitting there for a little bit. Like I went and got dinner and I left it running, so there's a little bit longer than it probably was. But So 10 achievements. The first one is for find the treasure for beating the game. Then you unlock achievement mode, and all the achievements say after finishing the game and unlocking achievement mode, do this. So one of them is shovel 4,000 times. One of them is collect 100 stones. Waste 50 ores. Like I said, you can only hold so many in your backpack at a time, and every one you pick up after that gets destroyed, and so that's wasting it. So you just have to waste 50 ores. There are a number of randomly strewn around, so you have to dig until you find them. There's rainbow ores. There's a whole bunch of them, so it's not difficult to do this one, but you have to find 5 of them. There's an achievement for earning $20,000. You have to have like I think it is cumulative though, so you can spend it and it still counts towards it. One thing that does annoy me about it though is they put the $ at the end. $ goes before the number, not after, and that's a giant pet peeve of mine and annoys the crap out of me. There's another game that in the same type of vein where I've played it for a few minutes, and they did the same thing. The $ at the end of the number, not at the beginning. That's the Pigeon Simulator. That bugs me when they put the $ at the end of the number. One of the achievements was in the garage where you sell your stones. There's a little crate that has 2 locks on it, and you have to find 2 hidden keys somewhere down in the depths to unlock it. So when you find the 2 keys, you'll unlock that. After finishing the game, you have to. That was probably the hardest achievement, is for falling for 4 seconds. So you have to dig literally because a lot of times your path is kind of like winding as you're going down. You have to dig one straight down, and have it be wide enough so you can use your jetpack from when you're up in your yard. Because if you just walk off the ledge, you won't fall far enough. You have to jump and then fall all the way down to the bottom to where the tunnel is, where the moles are, in order to get the achievement for falling for 4 whole seconds. That's the hardest one and took the longest amount of time. And then for using 100 dynamite. And then there's an achievement for beating the game in under 30 minutes, which is actually because you would be like, that's actually kind of difficult, but there is they put this achievement in there because of this exploit. It's not even exploit, like it's in the game for this specific reason, but you're in just, your suburban backyard, and you've got, like a patio table and some chairs, and you got a barbecue. Underneath the patio, where the table and chairs are, there's one specific tile in this backyard that every time you hit it, it gives you like $10,000. So you just for your speed run, you just start the game, go to that little tile, hit it a few times to get basically all the money you need, go buy all the upgrades, and then just go immediately beat the game in like 5 minutes. So it was just a dumb little game. It was on Game Pass, so I didn't have to spend any money on it. And the couple hours I spent on it, I enjoyed every second of it. It was just a fun, like, pointless game. So yeah, that was a game about digging a hole.
I put countless hours into Minecraft, so I know how that is.
So, hey, Rodney's here. What's up, Rodney? Good to see you. What great feet you have. Yeah, it's one of those modern shovels, Neil. Oh, yeah, it runs on battery power. Too much underground. Oh, the final upgrade for the shovel, though, becomes a drill, and you just hold it down, and you just turn, and it just drills out huge sections, so it makes it way faster. But too much underground pressure causing malfunctions. This game is so gamey. It's very gamey. Oh, you mean like this? Yes, exactly like that, Phoenix. Put the $ after the number. That annoys the crap out of me. Or this, $2 $0. If you put that, I wouldn't even know what that meant. I'd be like, are you having a seizure? But yeah, when these games put the $ after the number, and it annoys the crap out of me. But yeah, that was a game about digging a hole. It's very short, and just it's one of those, like, it's only $5 full price, so it knows exactly what it's doing. So that was a game about digging a hole. And then another game that I played before the end of the year, and was Double Fine's most recent game, and that was Keeper, where you play as this like sentient lighthouse, and you have this little like bird creature companion that helps you solve puzzles. And there's no dialogue. You just I don't really know exactly what's going on, but it seems to be some sort of post-apocalyptic setting, because you see houses and cars and stuff. but they're all abandoned and they're very small. You can walk over them and like crush them and stuff. But the game is basically 3 sections. The first part is the lighthouse with the legs like you see in the trailer, and it's just it's very pretty and has some. What is it that you just sent me? Is that something I should pull up on stream?
You can, but it's about the previous game, and it's an Ed and Eddie skit thing.
Okay. I'll pull that up here after we're done with the keeper. Hey, Beady Jake is here. What's up, Jake? Haven't seen you in a while. Happy New Year to you, buddy. I miss talking to you, but hope you're doing well. Hope you homies are doing well. I am doing well. Good to see you both. Good to see you as well. I'm still looking forward to chatting you for part 3 at some point. I'm going to hold you to it. But anyways, Keeper is a very pretty game. It's very colorful, as you would expect from a Double Fine game. And you're a lighthouse, and you use essentially your eye, which is the light of the lighthouse, to solve some puzzles while you're in the lighthouse form. And then the second act of the game is your light gets on a boat, and now you're a boat with the lighthouse eye, and you go around water and stuff solving puzzles, and also using your little bird companion helps you solve puzzles as well. And then the third part was probably the most fun, and you're just the little eye, but you're spinning like a wheel, and it's almost like a Tony Hawk game. And you're also doing going through kind of these almost like racetracks, and also kind of solving some puzzles, some platforming puzzles. So that one was also rather short and quite enjoyable. Let me pull that up here and see what the I'll have to go to page 2. Wow, it's already been that long since I played it. I talked about this at length on Backlog Battling last month. That's why I have to go through so many games, is because of 12 Days of Christmas. There it is. So Keeper is a 5 to 6 hour completion, and it's only got 13 achievements. You'll get all but one of them. No, that's right. It's the exact opposite. The only achievement you would get from playing through the game is the achievement for beating the game. All 12 of the other achievements are for finding the hidden collectibles, which are kind of like I was talking about earlier, where they're with Hellblade, they're not too difficult to find as long as you're keeping your eye open. But similarly, I didn't want to miss any of them, although I believe this game does have a chapter select. But you would have to play the entire chapter over again. Like if it's right at the end of the chapter, you have to play the whole chapter. It's not like there's checkpoints through the chapter. But I did have a guide open just to make sure I didn't miss any of them. But the other 12 achievements are one achievement for each of the 12 collectibles. So if you didn't find any hidden collectibles, the only achievement you would get after playing the game is the one for beating the game. So all of the other achievements are for those hidden collectibles. But I got the 100% in that one as well. And that was a fun little adventure, puzzling game. And another short little game that I would recommend if also on Game Pass if you have it. And it's a quick little short one, and it was quite enjoyable as well. So in that, and then let me pull up whatever it was that you sent me. Let me open this over here. I don't typically share screen much.
Yeah, it's a good practice.
Okay, share audio.
How'd he do that? How'd he do that? He's too smart for us, Eddie! We will never catch him!
Gross.
Don't count your biscuits before they hatch, Lumpy! Sockhead may be smart, but he's weak, and he'll never deliver those report cards alive! I'm alive, Eddie! I'm alive! Dudley Do the Right Thing doesn't have a chance, Ed. It's brawn over brains, I tell ya. Aha! You're trapped! There's no escaping now, smart guy! Hand over those report cards!
I have no idea what's going on here.
Away!
Dig a hole, 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 dig a hole.
You should have dug deeper!
It just you talking about that pregame previously made me think of that.
Digging a hole.
Yep. The whole point is
Okay.
that those two, they had really bad report cards. They didn't want their parents finding out, and the other guy was delivering them
What was the point of digging the hole?
so that they could trap him in it.
But they're the ones that are trapped in the hole.
That's kind of the point of the joke.
Okay.
He's the smart one.
Phoenix says, Ed, and Eddie, this is my childhood. I knew of the show, but I never saw
I have the
it.
entire series on DVD.
It was on Cartoon Network, which I didn't have as a kid.
Cartoon Network was superior to Nickelodeon.
I didn't have that either. I just had like the 3 channels that came over the basic airwaves.
Oof.
So, all right.
Just not for your childhood.
The one thing that the main thing that I cared about, my favorite show as a kid, I did get it on one of those 3 channels. That was Beast Wars. I love that show. So
I'm pretty sure there's a game for that.
There are. They're terrible. I haven't played them, but I've watched them. And like this is not good.
I think they have achievements. Let me check.
Oh,
I think the N64 version is super expensive though, and it's just because it was a low print run.
I did play a demo of one way back, when I was a kid. I think it was like a Beast Wars fighting game, and it was not good.
Apparently, the N64 version does not have an achievement set.
So, but
how about the PS1 version?
I got 3 more to talk about. How much do you get?
I mean, I got 2, but one of them is a short one because I haven't really played that much into it.
Okay. Yeah, one of mine is a short one as well. So how about you go 1 more, and then I'll go 2 more, and then we can each do 1 more.
I guess I could do my quick one, but I mean, I'll probably talk about it for like 2 minutes. While I was visiting my parents, even though I was playing a lot of Warframe, I ended up starting another Pokemon game.
Oh, okay.
I haven't even gotten to the 3rd badge though yet, so I haven't really played too much into it. But I've been playing Pokemon Diamond.
Pokemon Diamond. Okay. While we're on the topic, I was going to mention this earlier while I was talking about Mega Man Powered Up because of multi-set. Because they added another game either today or yesterday to multi-set, and it's Pokemon White version 2. I don't know why they picked that one in particular.
Probably because it has a decent amount of subsets.
But after this multi-set thing started, I've seen everyone's clamoring for do all the Pokemon games, because all the Pokemon games have like 3 subsets each. So
yep.
I hope that they do that for all the Pokemon fans. But I wanted to list all the games that currently have multi-set. Mega Man Powered Up, Retro Game Collection 2 on DS, which I've never heard of, Pac-Man World 2 on PS2, the original Legend of Zelda on NES, Dragon Quest 9 on DS, Dragon Quest 8 on PS2, Metroid Prime, Super Mario Sunshine, which is another reason why I want to get through the Mario games and play that one for the first time, because that one has 5 sets in total. So when I play that one, it's going to be lots.
I only did the main set.
And then just added as of either today or yesterday was Pokemon White version 2.
But yeah, I haven't really put too much time into it because I've tried playing it on my main computer at home, and for some reason I cannot get that game to work on my main computer, but I can get it working on my laptop. And it's the same operating system on both systems.
And I'm assuming the same emulator.
Yep, same emulator.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. So I've just been playing. I'm ended up playing it on the laptop.
So have you played that one before, or is this the first time you're playing that version?
I played it when it first came out, but it's been a long time.
Pokemon, you said Diamond, right?
Yep.
Was that a
first
DS?
It's the first DS game.
The first DS one. Okay. I'm getting a little bit better on which generations were on which piece of hardware. So, does that one have multi-set? It doesn't have multi-set enabled, but does it have multiple sets?
Let me check. It's been a while since I've checked on that.
I'm pretty sure every Pokemon game has at least 2. It has a main set and a Professor Oak challenge, and a lot of them I've looked at have a
Professor Oak challenges are just a pain in the butt because it's over grinding.
That's when we have to do a bunch of stuff at the beginning of each stage,
you have to catch every Pokemon before you beat a badge. So that means before the first badge, you have to evolve your starter Pokemon twice.
That's right. Yeah,
so
that's kind of nuts.
So you have to level up your starters up to like level 36, and all the Pokemon are like less than to level 10. So you can see where the grind is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Diamond has a bonus set and the Professor Oak challenge.
So it's just got the 2?
Yeah.
Or is it 3 total?
Well, 3 sets, but two extra sets.
2 subsets. Okay. So there's the main set, the Professor Oak, and what's the other one?
Bonus.
Is it, and what's the gist of that one? Is that the shiny Pokemon one?
It's usually where they put like the glitches and some of the extra stuff.
Okay, like a glitch showcase.
Yeah, and also apparently there's achievement for getting the 2 mystery the 2 Pokemon you have to use mystery gift for.
Okay. I don't exactly. I have no idea what that entails, but
pretty much like your
that's
Mews. Okay. No, you couldn't catch Mew in the original Red and Blue.
Yeah, I was like Muse, not like M-U-S-E, but like Mew the Pokemon plural.
Yeah, they're pretty much like Mew, where they have an event tied to them nowadays. But you can't get that event unless you did something external with the game. Like I think during that era, there was a GameStop thing where you could go into a GameStop and they'd have like a special cartridge that you could connect to your Pokemon game and would unlock that event that you could go and catch those Pokemon for.
That's kind of cool, but that would suck playing it later on. Like there would be like
I know there's a bunch of conventions where some people actually have those old cartridges still, and they actually unlock them for everybody who goes to their kiosk.
That's cool. Okay. All right. So you said you're only like the 3rd badge, so you're still pretty early on in Pokemon Diamond?
Yeah, pretty early on. I'm just making sure I'm not missing any of the achievements, and most of them are just tied to the gym leaders.
Okay. I know you said you haven't really done much with any ROM hacks yet. Have you done many or any subsets before?
No. No. The only one I have a subset achievements for is because they were originally part of the main set before they switched them off onto their subset.
And what was that
for
on?
Super Mario 64.
Super Mario 64. Okay.
That was for the achievements where you had to get every coin in every stage.
Oh, that was one of the other things I was going to mention about that because when
the coin collector.
When I do get around to playing Mario Sunshine, because it has 5 sets. There's the main set. There is a bonus subset. I don't really understand what the gist of the subset is.
Bonus subset's usually tied to like glitches and some of the really crazy speed run type stuff.
Like the first one, maybe you'll understand this. So the first one of the bonus set for Mario Sunshine is enter Serena Beach from Delfino Plaza before Yoshi eats the pineapple, blocking the entrance.
Yeah, you have to glitch into the pipe to be able to get to that spot.
Okay,
so runner trick.
A lot of these achievements are for doing stuff like that. So okay, that's one subset. Then there is the coin collector subset, which is for finding all of the coins in each of the areas. So collect all 111 coins in episode 1, collect all 116 coins in episode 2, and so on. So I'll go ahead and do that as well when I play it. Then there's the max percent pre-peach. So the first one's collect the first shine in Delfino Airstrip, complete episode 5 of Pianta Village.
Pianta.
I don't. These don't seem too complicated.
Well, it's because you have to do them before Peach gets kidnapped.
And what
I can't remember the exact
trigger for that.
Trigger for that is
okay.
I don't know the game well enough to know that.
I'll look into it when I get around to playing it.
And then of course the last one is hoverless.
Yeah, the last one I want to ask you about is hoverless. So what does that mean?
Pretty much don't use the hover nozzle.
Okay, because there's 53 achievements for most of this is all for you have to do all these achievements without they're all hoverless and then the name of the achievement. So collect 3 shine sprites. So I don't know if I will go for that one. We'll see.
Don't go for that one.
I'll definitely do the coin one and the main set and maybe
you will regret doing the coin one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
At least
if it's as bad as Super Mario 64's, you will regret going for that one.
At least on the positive side of things, subsets no longer count against your stats, so there's no downside in going for them.
True.
So, but Phoenix says fan games were my Pokemon media consumption is where it's at now. F Nintendo slop. Oh, you're a fan of fan games. Yeah. There's a lot of good ones. And I love how a lot of these games have multi-sets for some of these crazy, ridiculous things. So you can go for them if
like
you want to,
Pokemon
but you don't
Clover.
have to. Yeah. So,
Hey, my retro achievements profile picture is still the Clover.
the Clover, yeah. So, okay. Then let's see here. My two are I'll do two of my shorter ones, then I'll finish off with my kind of big one. So another one I wanted to play, another one that's on Game Pass. It's pretty short, and it's a Christmassy game. There's The Grinch, and I think it's called like Merry Christmas Adventure. It's just a little platformer. And for some reason, I know why. I found this out afterwards, but the game was worth 1,500 gamer score instead of 1,000. I was like, what's the deal with that? It's because there's another version of the game that originally came out, and it had a DLC, which brought that one up to 1,500, but then they re-release it as the Merry Christmas Adventure version, and it has the DLC built in, so it's still worth 1,500. But yeah,
So
you just
technically
play
you get 3,000 for this game.
what's
By
that?
doing it twice.
You can get 3,000 by doing both versions.
Yeah.
Yes. Assuming I don't know that original version is actually on Xbox though. It might have been on another platform. Let me check that real quick. I'm curious.
Now that I said it.
No, okay, yeah, it is on Xbox, and it is also worth 1,500. It's been delisted though, but it is available physically, so you could get it physically and play that one for 1,500.
But does the physical version have the DLC?
Since it's delisted. The DLC is, according to True Achievements, the DLC for that the delisted version is still available, which is very weird.
Well, maybe because as a physical release, they just were like, okay, well, we won't pay for the main game to be on the store, but we'll pay for the DLC to be on there.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, so you could play it twice for 3,000. You just have to find the physical copy and then buy the DLC for the first version. But it's all in one package, and it's on it was on Game Pass. It was weird because it just joined in like October. It already left Game Pass as of like a couple days ago.
It was only here for Christmas.
It was for like 3 months. That's the shortest a game has ever been on Game Pass. I think the shortest a game has ever been on Game Pass was like 6 months. And that was like GTA 5. So it was weird that a little game like this was only on Game Pass for a couple of months. So, but yeah, did that because it was Christmassy. You play as the Grinch, and it's just a little platforming game, and you have to collect, collectibles throughout the levels and escape the Who's. Because there's part where you have to go into the houses, and the Who's chase you because they want to give you a hug, but the hugs do damage to you because you're the Grinch. So it made sense for the setting. It's not a good game. I wouldn't recommend playing it, but it's short and it was worth 1,500 gamer score. And I wanted to play something Christmassy. So and then I didn't even know it was going to be leaving Game Pass. It was kind of more of a sudden thing, especially given it had just joined a few months ago. I was like, oh, it'll be on here until October next year, and it wasn't. So you easily could have done it. I did it over in like one afternoon. So they did announce it before, so it wasn't like a shadow, the opposite of a shadow drop, a shadow leave a Game Pass. They did give some heads up. It just wasn't. I don't think it was
Shadow
the whole. Yeah, I don't think it gave the full 2-week notice that they normally do. But even if they gave a couple days notice, that's plenty of time to get it knocked out. But it is already left Game Pass. But yeah, you basically just have to collect all of the collectibles in each level and beat each level, which is pretty straightforward. So it was a short, little, easy Christmassy platformer. And so I got that knocked out. And then the other one that I mentioned earlier, because I beat the rest of the game for part of 12 Days of Christmas for the there was a racing, music and rhythm, or sports game. And because I had very few games to pick from, I did this one, but even this game by itself wasn't enough achievements to complete that day. So I had to get an achievement in another game. And that was the one where I got one achievement in Tony Hawk 3+4. And then I got all the rest of achievements in this game because I was going to be short one achievement. And that was Urban Trial Tricky. And this game is basically, if you were to combine the Trials games that I love so much, the one where you're the dirt bike and you're trying to get to the end as fast as possible without with making as few faults as possible, if you were to combine that with a Tony Hawk game, so how the game works is you have the levels aren't too big from like one side to the other, but you're on a little like it's not a dirt bike, but it's you basically ride it like a dirt bike. And you go back and forth from one end of the level to the other, doing jumps and doing tricks and stuff, and backflips and front flips, and but you can also do like a 180 and then go back the other direction. And you have like a it's not like a 2-minute time limit, but like Tony Hawk is, or at least was. But you do have a time limit. Some of the levels are different. Some are like 5 minutes, some are 10 minutes, but you have a bunch of goals that you need to complete and under the time limit. So some are like get like 10 million points, or get 500,000 points in one combo, and you have to string your tricks together to keep your combo going, just like in Tony Hawk. And you have you want to do all these different types of tricks to vary up your score bonus essentially. And a lot of them may have had a goal for like each level had a couple different types of collectibles. So there's like collect all 5 of the item in this level. So is really is just Tony Hawk plus Trials HD, and it was a pretty short game as well. Let me pull up the achievements for it here. But yeah, it was a fun little game. I enjoyed it. The reason why that I even knew the game exists, because the Xbox group that I often mention, Achievement Hunting 101, they do a weekly podcast. And a while ago, I don't know if it was even this year, it might have been a year or two ago, but someone talked about this game on that podcast. So I was like, oh, that sounds like fun, because I love Trials and I love Tony Hawk. So I picked it up when it went on sale, who knows how long ago, for like a couple dollars. And it is a 5 to 6 hour completion. Looks like it took me about 7.5 hours, but I did it over the course of one day, December 11th. I did it all on the 11th. And basically each track has like 3 stars, and it's for basically like completing all of those different goals in each level. And so if you just get 3 stars on all the levels, you'll or 5 stars. That's what it is. There's 5 stars on each level. And by getting 5 stars in each of the different, I don't know, like 30 different levels there are, you'll get all the achievements, because there are other achievements for some of the other stuff. But if you just get all the stars, you'll get all those other achievements as well. Because like one of them is find all the money bags, but each of the levels that the money bags appear in, one of the goals is for collecting all the money bags in that level. So you can't miss that one if you're going for it. Let's see here. It is $20 full price. The lowest price it's gone on sale for, I swear, it's like $2 or $3. Yeah, $3. It's been 85% off, and that's when I picked it up. So if you like Trials and you like Tony Hawk, it's a fun little short motorcycle trick game, and it's not too terribly difficult. And I use that and it's only 10 achievements. And I had already had 2 achievements, so that's why. That was on day 9 where I needed 9 achievements, but I only had 8 achievements in this game, so that's why I had to get 1 in Tony Hawk as well. But it was a fun little game. For $3, I'd say it's definitely worth the purchase, and it's definitely worth $3 of fun when it's on sale. I probably wouldn't pay $20 for it, but for $3, yeah, I'd definitely recommend it at $3. So
Sounds like fun.
yeah. Do you like Tony Hawk or Trials?
I like Tony Hawk. I've never really took too much time on the Trials games.
I love the Trials games. I'm good at them. I'm not like godlike, but I'm quite good at them. So, all right. You got one more?
I got one more.
All right. What's your
This
last
is the game
one?
I've been playing on stream. Although this past month I've been a little bit more erratic with my streaming because of the basement stuff going on. So that's still going on, but should be finishing up soon. But the game I've been playing on stream is Kingdom Hearts 1.5, the final remix version, so of the original.
You said 1.5?
Yeah, it's really just final mix. I was just calling 1.5 because that was what the collection it was in.
Yeah, because I know the naming of the games in that series are like so convoluted.
Well,
it's
really Kingdom Hearts final mix, which is just the re-release version of the Japanese release of Kingdom Hearts 1.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. What does that mean?
During that era, whenever they're localizing it for like Western audiences, pretty much making it English, they'll usually add a couple of bosses. That's what Square used to do with Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts. Like they'd add a couple of super bosses for the international release, because there's all this time that they're just waiting for all the text to be translated. They're like, we can fix a couple bugs and add a new boss or two for them, and then once that's all done, they'll eventually port those bosses back into the Japanese version with all the bug fixes.
Okay.
And then they'll release that version in Japan as the international version.
Okay.
That was how the Final Fantasy games were called. But for Kingdom Hearts, they're called the Final Mix versions.
Oh, okay. So if you were going to play them, the Final Mix version is probably the best version to play.
It has the most content, and they tend to rebalance some things, like how certain abilities are, and when they unlock in Kingdom Hearts 1. I don't know the full extent of what it's like in Kingdom Hearts 2 or any of the other ones, but I just know more about Kingdom Hearts 1 is when it comes to that stuff. Like they added 4 bosses into the international version
that weren't in the original release.
Yes, and whenever they brought those back into the Japanese version, they added one more super boss in the Final Mix. That super boss was never brought out to the Western audiences until the re-release on PS3. And of course, the Xbox, the PlayStation 4, and the Steam version is all based on that PS3 release.
Okay.
So it's pretty much I've already played through this set on Xbox and PlayStation 3. It's just I'm going through the PS4 set right now on stream.
Okay. Oh, so you're doing the PlayStation one, so you're getting trophies for it then.
Yep.
Okay.
Of course, because it's a collection, PlayStation they have each game in the collection a separate game. Unlike Xbox, it's all one full set for every game in the collection.
Yep.
There's 4 games in that collection.
Yeah, that's one thing that I hate. The most egregious example of that is the recent Call of Duties. They keep adding them as DLC for the existing games. So it's like it's like maybe I don't want to play all of them. I only want to play Modern Warfare 2. But no, if you want to have the completion, you got to do Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 6, and Black Ops 7.
Yep.
It's like that is so utter garbage.
At least for the collections, it makes a bit more sense because they're all being released at the same time in the same collection.
Yeah.
Like Rare Replay and Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, no, these ones are games that come out years apart, and they just keep adding on to existing ones, and you'll lose your completion if you had it, and you got to play a whole different game to regain it, which is completely different than the previous one. There's no zombies in Modern Warfare. Said, what if I don't want to do zombies to regain my completion? Tough luck. So yep. I really hate them for what they've done with the achievements alone in those games.
Yeah, so pretty much with the Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, I'm just going through on the hardest difficulty. I'm going to do 100% on that run. I do have to do one more run, and it's for 3 separate achievements. But if I just do it on the easiest difficulty, it's not too big of a deal, because one of the achievements is to beat the game without changing any equipment. So pretty much you gotta use the starter. You can't even change your defensive items, and then of course beating the game without dying, which is very easy to not screw up, because anytime you die, you just go back to the main menu and just reload your save that way.
Okay, yeah. So as long as you don't press continue.
Yep. And then the last achievement is beating the game in like 15 hours. Whenever I did it on Xbox, I did it like 6.5 hours.
Oh wow, that's fast.
So
got it down.
Yeah, as long as you know what you're doing and know what you can skip, you can go through it pretty quickly.
Okay, because that was gonna be my question. Is like what's gonna be difficult? But it sounds like I wouldn't necessarily call some of those difficult, but those are probably the most difficult of them.
And of course, because I'm doing the 100% run on the hardest difficulty, I'm actually gonna do the super bosses on the hardest difficulty, because I just prefer doing it that way.
Ah, okay.
Because I could just beat the game and then just lower the difficulty and do it that way, but where's the fun in that when you're streaming it, especially? And I've always been able to beat the super bosses on the hardest difficulty too. So.
Oh, okay.
Of course, this is the super bosses where Sephiroth is one of the ones that they added. The main villain from Final Fantasy VII.
I've heard Sephiroth on like on a list video, and not Sephiroth from Final Fantasy, but Sephiroth from Kingdom Hearts is like, I don't know if it was like hardest bosses ever, or maybe it was a list of like hard bosses in otherwise not terribly difficult games. And this is, but I know I've heard Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts get mentioned on some videos before.
I've beaten him quite a few times in the first game. I've beaten him a couple times in the second game. But he was one of the super bosses they added in. They added one Disney super boss. They added one Final Fantasy super boss, and they added two unique super bosses, which are based on the Heartless for two areas. The Disney super boss was actually the Ice Titan from Hercules.
Okay.
They already had the Rock Titan in the Hades Cup.
Okay.
So,
yeah. I don't know. I don't know much about Kingdom Hearts.
Well, I mean, like you've watched the Disney movies, right?
I've seen I've seen Hercules.
Yeah, the Titans were the ones that Hades wanted to get out of their prison so he could take over Olympus.
Yeah, although I haven't seen Hercules since I was a kid, so it's been many.
So they made two of the Titans super bosses.
Been many decades. So, but okay.
But like I said, the Rock Titan was already in there in the Hades Cup, and then they added the Ice Titan during the international release.
This was originally a PS2 game?
Yes.
Okay.
And then of course they added Sephiroth as the other super boss, but that's the Final Fantasy super boss that they added.
Right.
Although that's the only Final Fantasy boss that they ever put in Kingdom Hearts, actually. Now that I think about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
then of course the other
more.
There's another super boss that's in Agrabah. That's pretty much just a desert type of Heartless. He's got 4 arms and he has a sword in each arm. He's pretty fun to fight. And the other one was in Neverland, and that one has a unique system that they brought in from the Final Fantasy turn-based games, because in the Final Fantasy they have time magic, like slow and stop to stop an enemy from moving, so they can't do anything. Well, they brought it into this game, but you don't use the stop magic on the boss. You use it on the clock, because he has a doom mechanic where whenever the battle starts, he puts a timer on one of your companions, and when that timer goes out, they're out for the fight.
Okay.
And then whenever that timer goes out for that companion, the second companion gets the timer. And then whenever that second companion goes out, then he puts a timer on you. And
you can't revive them or anything?
You can't revive them once that happens.
So okay.
But
so
if you put
the clock.
But if you stop the clock, because you're fighting in front of Big Ben, and because Peter Pan goes to London, so you're fighting in front of Big Ben, and so you put the stop magic on the clock, and it stops the timer.
Ah, very, very sneaky.
But you just got to remember to use the stop magic every now and then to keep it stopped.
To refresh the time, the amount of turns that it lasts.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's an action RPG, so it's
action RPG. Turns. That's right. So,
like you probably like Kingdom Hearts because it's more action oriented.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never had anything against it other than just I've never been like, big on Disney in general. But as a gameplay, yeah, I think I'd probably enjoy it.
Yeah, it's definitely a good game. The first game is definitely rough, but I've always been able to replay it a lot. It's just mainly because of how much content it has. It doesn't feel like too much. Like Kingdom Hearts 2 definitely has a lot of content in it. So it's been a while since I played through that game.
Okay. And so the one that you're playing, you said is part of a collection. What are the other ones that are in that collection?
Well, because it's the PS4 version, it's like the Xbox One version where it has like all of the games in that collection, but it has the 1.5 edition or collection, which has, of course, Kingdom Hearts 1 and Rechain of Memories, which is the PS2 version of the GBA game, which is the only one that has a very unique system, and I'm not a big fan of it. It has a card-based system where every time you attack, it uses cards. It's weird. Gotcha. It kind of works, but I'm not a big fan of it. And that original PS3 collection, the trophy achievements did not stack. or the difficulty achievements
The
didn't stack.
difficulty Stevens didn't
Yeah.
check. Oh, okay.
So like you had
Oh,
to.
that's
There was like
annoying.
there's 3 difficulties, so you had to go through the game 3 times.
I hate it when they don't stack.
But they only did it for that first collection. If you get it on Xbox or PS4 or the Steam, I think they all stack in those.
Okay.
So they did fix that. But because you can play as 2 characters in Rechain of Memories, you have to go through the game 6 times on the PS3 version.
Oh my goodness. You have to do each difficulty with each character.
Yes.
Oh, that's brutal.
At least that's been fixed on the modern re-releases. And because it's a DS game, they put all the DS games cutscenes on that collection. On the PS3 version, you actually get trophies for watching all the cutscenes, and it's its own list, but doesn't get a platinum.
Oh, it's its own list. Interesting.
But it doesn't get a platinum because it's like there's no gameplay.
Yeah.
It's like how they do the Xbox Live Arcade games, because on PS3 the arcade style games on the PS3 don't get platinums.
Oh, I did not know that. I was thinking more
usually they had a gold. They had a gold tied as the platinum.
Yeah, I was thinking more so how Xbox used to have achievements for like apps, so you could get achievements for like the YouTube app or the True Achievement app, but they're all worth 0 gamer score. But
the thing is, though, trophies do actually have an experience value behind them, so you still get points for it. That's how you level up on PlayStation.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen that level on like I have no idea what that means.
I'm like level 343.
So is it for that leveling system? Is it linear or is it like exponential?
I'd have to check into it, but I know that each basic list usually is like 1150 points. Whenever you actually there's still a standardized points value for what a PlayStation's list has. Kind of like how Xbox has 1000, but because of the way the trophies work, it's off. It's not an even number.
Okay.
But of course, the platinum is worth the most points. The golds are worth the second most, and the silver and the bronzes.
Okay, so that's where the XP or the experience comes in, is from what like level the trophy is.
Yep.
Okay.
So
that makes more sense.
Yeah, I've been going through the Kingdom Hearts right now on PlayStation 4, and it also this disc also has the 2.5, which has, of course, Kingdom Hearts 2, Birth by Sleep, which is the PSP prequel. I have played that one a little bit, but I never beaten it, so I'll eventually. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be going through Ninja Gaiden, and then I'm gonna go through a Kingdom Hearts. I'm gonna go through Ninja Gaiden, then a Kingdom Hearts. So I'm gonna swap between. But I think I'm actually gonna go through the DS games on Retro Achievements, because they actually have lists.
Oh, okay.
I've never gone through those games, so I thought it'd be a good idea to go through them.
Are you going to do those on stream?
I'm going to do them on stream.
Cool. Okay.
So eventually I'll end up at 3, but in a long time.
Eventually, someday.
Because that second collection, of course, also has one of the DS games is cutscenes as well.
Oh, okay.
And it's mainly because I don't think they could find a way to actually make the DS screen work well because I think it also used touch controls a lot. Because of course, every DS game needed to use the touch screen.
Yep.
It seemed like. But the thing is, though, I think they made the 3DS game work on modern consoles without using the touchscreen. So they probably could have eventually gotten it working, the DS games working that way. I think it took more. But I think the 3DS game is much more story, or much more important to the story than the DS games.
But yeah, talking about like DS making the touchscreen like mandatory for everything. It's like I played Zelda Phantom Hourglass way back in the day when it came out, or it was new-ish, and I just played it that one time, and then when getting it running for retro achievements, I'd totally forgotten that it's basically touchscreen only. You have to patch it in order to be able to use the D-pad to move instead. which I've done that. And I've got it ready to go, so I don't have to use the touchscreen for movement. But I had completely forgotten that it didn't use the D-pad to move.
Yep.
So
I didn't even know that patch actually worked with the retro achievements. So maybe one of these days I'll finally go through it.
yeah, I haven't played it for retro achievements, but I did get it running, so I can play it with the D-pad and not have to worry about the whole touchscreen stuff. So, but all right. So Phoenix, touched on something we were talking about a few minutes ago. Says, like the Master Chief Collection, never played Halo 4. F that fanfic. I don't understand the hate for Halo 4. I understand hate for Halo 5, but Halo 4 was
Halo
a good
4
game.
is the best. I think the Halo 4 is probably the best 343 Industries game. When you don't pay attention to the stuff that when you don't pay attention to stuff that they decide to do off screen and then just decide to do a reboot and 5.
I haven't played Infinite yet, but maybe we'll get there soon.
Eventually,
we're finally going to be doing Halo 5 soon. Maybe we'll be able to get to Infinite sometime this year. So, yeah, I don't get is it as good as the Bungie games? No, but I don't understand the hate for Halo 4.
The multiplayer is definitely the weakest part of Halo 4.
I never played it. I've only played the co-op. So, all right. Well, that was actually a good, not the Halo part, but a few minutes ago, what you said you're going to be playing on stream next was an excellent segue to my last game.
Because I'll eventually play. But the thing is, though, I'm going to be going to the 360 version of Ninja Gaiden 2.
Okay. And Phoenix says, it's the best, but that were the rot of the stories. What? Halo ended with 3?
That's where the rot of the story started.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's like, being the tallest midget.
But I mean, it did have the best Cortana.
Yes, I'll agree with you on that one as well.
And to be honest, I actually didn't mind Chief's look in the 4. Actually, that was a pretty good.
I thought it looked good.
I mean, that game still looks impressive for a 360 game.
It's a good looking 360 game. So, anyways, where I was going with that is my last game is Ninja Gaiden Quattro. So I am a huge fan of Ninja Gaiden. I talked about this last night on Backlog Battling, how basically the franchise has been dead for over a decade because Ninja Gaiden 3, which was a god awful garbage fire.
It's not the first time that the franchise has been dead for a while.
That is true. Yeah, there was 3 games on NES back in the 80s, or actually, I think the Ninja Gaiden 3, I want to say, was like 1990 or 91. It was very early 90s, and was on, revived on the original Xbox back in 2004. So it was around a 13, 14-year gap, and then from 2004 to 2013, I think, is when Ninja Gaiden 3 came out. That game was a piece of crap. That game sucks. But then we got, out of nowhere, a revival of the franchise. We got.
What about Ninja Gaiden, that zombie one?
I've not played it, but I've heard that one is terrible as well, which does not surprise me. I do want to play it someday, though, but it's I'll have to find a copy of it, and I think it's kind of pricey.
You know what? I might actually end up playing it, so I have a 5th game in the Ninja Gaiden series to play, just so I have some more swapping between Ninja Gaiden and Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
Although I will be skipping Rechain of Memories whenever I go through Kingdom Hearts on stream.
Gotcha. But yeah, Ninja Gaiden 3 came out in like 2012 or 2013. And yeah, we had the franchise is dead. And then 2025 rolls around. We get 3 Ninja Gaiden games in 1 year. I've played 2 of them. I would have played all 3 of them, but I could have swore when they announced one of them, it was coming to Game Pass, and it did not. And that's Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. That's one I have not played, but I really want to play it.
One, isn't it?
That's the 2D pixel art one. It looks great. There is a demo, and I not on Xbox, but there's a demo on Steam, and I've downloaded, but I haven't played it yet. But I've heard it's fantastic. Everyone that I've talked to that's played it says it's great. I'm very much looking forward to playing it at some point. But I did play Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, and I really liked it. I talked about that a month or 2 ago on Achievement Chasers. I played that because I played leading up to the launch of Ninja Gaiden 4. I played Ninja Gaiden Sigma, which is one of the versions of the first Ninja Gaiden. I'd never played that version before. I did not 100% it, but I did beat the story on hard. And then I did Ninja Gaiden 2 Black for the first time. And then I did Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge, the Xbox One version, which I hadn't played, but it's exactly there's no changes between the Razor's Edge on the 360, which I have already played, and the Xbox One. They're exact same game. Whereas like Ninja Gaiden Black, Ninja Gaiden Sigma are significantly different games. But I played those leading up to Ninja Gaiden 4. I believe I got my last achievement in Ninja Gaiden 3, like the day Ninja Gaiden 4 launched. So it was like I was ready for Ninja Gaiden 4. I did I only played it a little bit for the first couple weeks because I was only doing it on stream. And then that was in September. And then I ended up like not playing it at all for, basically from like mid-October until December. I'm like, all right, I got to get back to it. I got to finish it, beat the story before the end of the year. And so I played Ninja Gaiden 4 in December. I went into a lot of depth about what I did and didn't like about the game on last night's stream, so I won't rehash a whole lot of that. But in that, I didn't talk about really any of the achievements. I just talked about what I did and didn't like about the game. Overall, I really enjoyed the game. It's a really awesome, fast-paced, balls to the wall, crazy action game, which Platinum is known for. My biggest issues with it were it being a Ninja Gaiden game. And there were some things that disappointed me about it having the Ninja Gaiden title on it, but it didn't have some things that are kind of core elements to a Ninja Gaiden game. But overall, I really enjoyed it and had a lot of fun. There's 45 achievements. I have 36 of them, so I only have 9 achievements left. But I got all the achievements for beating the story. I got all the achievements for leveling up and maxing out all of your abilities because there's a store where you eat because there's like 5 different weapons you get throughout the game, and you have to max each one of them in order to. There's an achievement for maxing each one of them out on learning all the abilities. So I have all of those. There's a couple of random achievements for like one is for achieving a 2,000 point combo, not a 2,000 hit combo. Different hits are worth different amounts of points. So I got that one. There's a bunch of different achievements for like using the specific weapon to get like 5 kills at once, or there's some here's another one. Use this one weapon. They all have weird names, and I don't even remember which one is which because all the other ones had like normal names for them. But in this one, like one of the weapons is called the Kage Hiryuko, and one of them is the Yaotusen, and what's the other one? What's on the other one called? The Takeminakata. It's like I don't know what the heck any of these are. I have to look at them in
because you're not Japanese enough
with their name to know what these freaking weapons are. So I wish they would have just stuck to the normal names like they've used in the previous ones, like the Dragon Sword and the Tiger's Fang and the Kasurigama. That's the most Japanese one there's been in all the games. But that one's really the only one that has kind of an outstanding name. You got the Dabalaro, you got the Nunchucks, you got the Vigorian Flails. They all have pretty normal names. This one, they've all got weird names, but there's an achievement for maxing out each one of them. So I've done that. The 9 achievements I have left, there's 3 of them for a couple of the levels in the game have some various traps. Like
Takeminakata.
Yeah, that one. That's the dual swords you start with. I do remember that one.
The Yotoisen.
The Yotoisen, I think that's the drill.
Magasushi. Oh,
I think that's the staff.
No second S. Megatsuhi.
I think that one is the staff.
Kagehiroko.
And I think that one is the 4th one. I think that's the one that you just said is really weird because at least with the other 3, you got your dual swords, you got your what is, because they also have like a second form by holding the left trigger. So your dual swords turn into like a giant blood sword when you're in your Raven form. The staff turns into, there's like a drill sword. And when you go into Blood Raven form, it's actually like a staff with a giant drill at the end. Then there is an actual staff. And when you go into your Blood Raven form, it turns into a giant hammer. The 4th weapon is really weird because it's like a bunch of different weapons all in one. And it was a really pretty cool weapon. It's just, it's way different and weird for a Ninja Gaiden game. But anyways, some of the levels have like traps and stuff in the level. Like there's one level where there's a bunch of laser beams. And so a bunch of these levels that have traps, there's an achievement for getting through the whole level without like triggering or taking damage from the trap. So like the one I just mentioned. I got the achievement for beating that one level without touching any laser beams. I did touch laser beams, but fortunately, you can just reload your last checkpoint and try it again. So it's not.
Oh,
that
so there's
difficult.
there's no real getting good.
They're not difficult to avoid. But if you're just not paying attention, it's easy to hit some of them. But there's 4 of those achievements. I have one of them, so I still need to just go back to the other 3 levels that have those and get those achievements. Basically, the ones that I have left that are difficult is beat all the purgatory trials, which I skipped those entirely. And those are quite difficult. Because I was like, I'll come back to them later. Fortunately, once you beat the game, they show up in the main menu, so you don't have to go back to them in the level and find them to perform them. But that's basically your trial mode from the previous Ninja Gaidens is the purgatory trials. There's an achievement for completing all missions. As you're going through the game, you go to like this. Every save point has like this little thing that pops up, and you can buy consumables, and you have like a bounty board with missions that you're issued. And so you have to complete all of those missions in the game, which most of them are pretty simple. It's like kill 5 of this enemy, or defeat this enemy with this specific weapon. So they're a lot of them are pretty straightforward. It's just some of them you can only do in certain levels or with certain characters. Because most of the game you play as Yakumo, but there are a few levels you play as Ryu, and there are some missions where you have to play as Ryu in order to get those. So I still have to go back and complete some of the missions. Obviously, there's an achievement for beating on Master Ninja. I don't have that one. Fortunately, that's the only difficulty-based achievement. You can beat it on any of the difficulties to get the achievement for beating the game. That's the only one you have to beat it on a specific difficulty to get the achievement.
Do it.
I may at some point. Who knows? But then there's an achievement for completing all challenges. I forget what all the challenges are. That's right. No. So there's basically 2 forms of the trial mode, because there's the purgatory trials, and then there's also a challenge mode, which has there's like 14 challenges, and or I don't remember how many there are, but it's basically like 2 different forms of the ninja trials from the previous games, and there's an achievement for beating each one of those types.
And no game has done the same thing as the first game with how many trials they did. Correct? There's like 76 trials in that first game.
Ninja Gaiden 2 does have them, but I don't think there's anywhere near as many, because they were actually DLC. They weren't in, well, the trials weren't in the original game either. They were free DLC on Xbox Live, but no one had Xbox Live back then. That's why they released the Ninja Gaiden Black with all that DLC on the disc. Then Ninja Gaiden 2 didn't have any trials when it released, but they added it in DLC. But that was a 360 game, and a lot of people had online by then. So, but that added the trial mode. But I don't think there's anywhere near as many trials in Ninja Gaiden 2 as the first one. And I haven't done any of the trials in Ninja Gaiden 3 yet, so I don't even know. And then, of course, there's basically the Platinum Achievement, which is one of my biggest freaking gripes in Xbox, is when they have an achievement for getting all the achievements. I hate that crap so much.
Sorry, they're Japanese developers. They're gonna go with the Japanese system.
Yeah, so I hate freaking Platinum achievements, and I don't mean that as achievements from the developer Platinum, just the achievement that is basically the Platinum on PlayStation for getting all the achievements. I hate that they do that.
What do you have against Bayonetta achievements?
No, I have 100% of Bayonetta 1, both the 360 and the Xbox One version. That's a good game, but I just hate the concept of the Platinum achievement. But yeah, so that's all the achievements I have left. Just playing through the game, you'll get a good chunk of the achievements. And there's one for these little collectibles that are called Gordies. They're these. You know what these Gordies remind me of? They remind me of Shegoths from Metroid Prime, but like shrunk down where they're like they could fit in your hand. And I think there's 15 of them throughout the game, if I remember correctly. But they're I think either every level or almost every level that you play as Yakumo has one. And so there's an achievement for collecting all of those. I think I only found like 2 of them on my own. I actually had to look up a guide, and I went back and followed the guide to find all the ones that I missed. So that was actually the last achievement I got before I kind of put it on the back burner to come back to it at some point. But overall, I really like the game. It's a lot of fun. It's just I had some gripes about it, given that it is a Ninja Gaiden game, but I definitely recommend it. It is on Game Pass if you have Game Pass. And
where does it sit in your Ninja Gaiden tier list?
That is a good question. I definitely recommend you play it. That is okay. So, you know what? It's probably very similar to my Metroid Prime ranking. So, Ninja Gaiden, my Metroid Prime 1 and 2 are like right at the same level as each other. So, Ninja Gaiden 1 or 2 are basically at the same level, but I do say Ninja Gaiden Black slightly over Ninja Gaiden 2. And the main reason for that is because Ninja Gaiden Black /1 has the interconnected Metroidvania map, whereas Ninja Gaiden 2 is just solely level based, point A to point B. That's the main reason why I like Black better. But Ninja Gaiden 2 is also a fantastic game, as is Metroid Prime 1 and 2. Then, okay, I guess I said that a little bit preemptively because, you know, Metroid Prime 1 and 2 are here, and then I put Metroid Prime 3 like just a little bit below it. Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2 are up here. Ninja Gaiden 3 is way down here at the floor because it's garbage. So I would put Ninja Gaiden 4 like below 1 and 2, but not that far below. I think let's see here. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, call it an 8 out of 10, whereas I give Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2, I'm pretty sure I gave them both 5 stars. So, and I think I gave Ninja Gaiden 3 like a 1 star. Or maybe a 0.5 star. Let me see what I gave it. That game is terrible. I'm curious, what did I give Ninja Gaiden 3? Ninja Gaiden 3, I did give a 0.5 stars. It's awful. I did give Razor's Edge, the Razor's Edge version, because it is far superior to the original Ninja Gaiden 3, but it's not. It's still not a great game. Let's see. What did I give Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge? I gave that a 1 point. No, I gave it a 2 stars. So that's a 4 out of 10. So, yeah. I definitely recommend it. It's a blast of a game. It's awesome. I just have some gripes with it, given that it's a Ninja Gaiden game. So, Nightmare says, you played Ninja Gaiden 3 again, even though you hate it. Yes, I did. Because I had the Xbox One version, which I had not played yet, and I wanted to play through all 3 of them to get ready for 4. So, as I mentioned earlier, I just played the original Metroid, which I hate, over again, and I just started it for a 3rd time yesterday. But Platinum snuck in a new Metal Gear Rising game under the Ninja Gaiden name. That's exactly basically what Carl said last night. Is his theory is that Platinum was developing a hack and slash game, and Microsoft approached them and be like, make this a Ninja Gaiden game, and that's his theory. And I'm like, that's probably, I wouldn't be surprised if that turned out to be true. So yeah, it's they
kind of sounds like what happened with Star Fox Adventures.
I didn't say that on last night's stream. That's exactly what I was thinking in my head. It's like, hey, you're making this Dinosaur Planet game, Shigeru Miyamoto, making a Star Fox game. It's like, wait, what? So, chat name, the chat, that should be a weapon name. So, all right. Well, that is everything I have to talk about tonight. Anything else that you wanted to talk about or have any?
Not that I can think of, because I'm just gonna try and continue the games I've already started.
Okay.
For next month.
All right. So your plan that you're working on is Kingdom Hearts and anything else?
Kingdom Hearts, Clair Obscur, and of course I'm gonna finish up Overcooked 2 on GOG.
Okay.
And probably continue working on Pokemon Diamond.
Okay. So as for what I'll be working on over the, I don't need to do that. What I'll be working on over the rest of January is beating Metroid Prime, or not Metroid Prime, but the Metroid Prime version of original Metroid one more time. I'll continue to be playing some Mega Man Powered Up for retro achievements on the Xbox side of things. For Metroidvania Monday, which I'll be continuing on Monday, is Revenge of the Savage Planet. I'm having a lot of fun with that, and I want to play it more. But I'm like, nope, I'm only doing it on stream because I've got, whenever
it's always the thing that sucks about streaming your games.
Yeah, and I try to do stuff like that. It's like, oh, I want to play that, but it's not like something that if I don't play it for a week at a time, I'm going to be bummed about it. But this one, it's like, I really want to play it some more, but I'm not. I'm holding off till Monday. So it's everything I love about the first game, and they just kind of expanded upon it. So I'm doing that for Metroidvania Monday. I do have something that I already beat, but I did that this month, so I'll talk about it next month. But it's a brief one. And as I mentioned, I did Hellblade 1. I went immediately into Hellblade 2, so I'm working on Hellblade 2, and I'll talk about that next month. And then another game that I just started, and I will talk about it next month because I'm only in like chapter 3, is Origami Shadow Edition, which is a cel-shaded stealth ninja assassin game. And my only gripe with it so far is some of the checkpoints are bullcrap. It's like there's like clearly delineated areas where it's like, oh, I cleared this section, now I'm going on to the next section. There should be a checkpoint, but nope. So you have to clear like 2 or 3 sections at a time before you get a checkpoint. That's my only gripe with it so far, but I haven't played
Sounds
it very
like the
much.
game's telling you to get good.
Yeah. So, but I am liking the game, and as soon as I finish that, I'll go into Origami 2. So maybe I'll talk about both of them next month. But yeah, so I doubt I'll get to this in January, but I do have my plan for Metroidvania Monday. I'm working my way through Revenge of the Savage Planet, and then after that, I'm going to be doing Ori 1 and 2 because I haven't played those in a while, and I haven't done them on stream. Those are my favorites, so I'll be doing those next, and then. There was a 4th one that I was going to do.
Can't you always do the Switch versions to get achievements that way?
I've already done the Switch version.
Oh, okay.
So, I haven't 100%ed the Switch version, but I have like 46 out of like the 53 achievements. I've got most of them. It's the original one that's not the definitive edition that I have not played yet. So that's the one I'll be doing on stream, but it's missing a few quality of life improvements. When I get to Will of the Wisp, though, there's only the one version. I already have all the achievements, so I'll be playing that one for no achievements, but it's my second favorite game of all time. So, because of that, I did just add the Ori games to my Steam wish list. So maybe I'll buy it and play it on Steam so I can at least get some achievements for it. But yeah, that's the plan for Metroidvania Monday going forward, but I doubt I'll get to those over the course of January, but we'll see. And I'll have to go back and look at my stream because I was like, here's the next 4 games I'm playing. Oh, that's what it was. Revenge of the Savage Planet, Ori, and no, that is 3. I forget what it was, but I said it on my stream. I have the next 4 Metroidvanias that I have planned out, and now I can't remember what the 4th one is, but it'll be a while from now. So, yeah. So, all right. Phoenix says, yeah, for Expedition 33, I stream it, but just do the grinding offline. That makes a lot of sense.
That definitely makes a lot of sense.
And Silksong has no checkpoints, lol, only horrible, corpse runs. I hate that. It's another reason why I don't like Hollow Knight. I did start Silksong, and I got the first 3.
You have to admit, for the original Dark Souls, it wasn't nearly as bad as you thought it was for most of the game. For most of the game, I'm not saying about a couple of bosses.
Okay.
We don't count the Bed of Chaos.
And when you say that, are you talking about like how bad the boss was, or
how bad the runbacks were?
The corpse run. Okay.
Corpse runs.
Yeah, there were a few that were god awful, but
for the reputation the game has, it's nowhere near as bad as what people say it is.
I
have to admit that.
I would say it maybe not quite, but I would say it's close because that is one of my biggest gripes about the game. But yeah, I hate freaking corpse runs. That's one of my big gripes, both with Hollow Knight and with Dark Souls. But I did start, like I said, I did start Silksong and got a couple of achievements for a couple of different reasons. But it's not like I'm going to be playing it right now. But the first hour or so, I think I played probably about an hour of it. I did like it better than the first like 10 hours I played a Hollow Knight. So I'll give it that. But all right, well, we'll go ahead and say goodnight here. So, dude, what do you got coming up? I know you said you're doing more.
I'm hoping to do Kingdom Hearts tomorrow night, and since we might be doing the Halo stuff on Sunday, I'll probably do stream on Saturday.
Okay, so
if you were doing Halo on Saturday, I wouldn't have done my own stream on Saturday.
Okay. So yes, and dude has been streaming to YouTube as well lately. If I know you were you doing?
I still am.
Okay, that's what I thought. So you can check him out here on YouTube or on Rumble,
unless one of the songs actually hit me.
Let me check here. Because I've always had his Rumble link.
I think the last time I did it, I had one of the Fantasia songs playing because that was the boss I was fighting. Chernabog.
Okay. Oh, okay. So yeah, I've got the link to Dude's Rumble and the link to his YouTube in the stream description if you want to go.
Not to my Odyssey.
Follow. I didn't even know you had Odyssey.
I
can add it in there
started.
if you want.
You can.
I don't even know if I have an Odyssey. I'll have to go and check. But so yeah, go check out Dude for his achievement hunting on Kingdom Hearts. And then the plan is we'll be doing. I'm not planning on streaming it on my channel, but looks like we'll be doing Halo 5. Probably. Are you planning on streaming it?
I plan on streaming it. Yeah.
Okay, we'll be streaming that on Dude's channel and on Paul's channel, and the plan is that'll be on Sunday morning, or at least morning for me. It'll probably be afternoon for you guys.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, as for myself, I will be back on Monday night for more Metroidvania Monday with Revenge of the Savage Planet, and then we'll be doing another party chat on Tuesday. I'll be doing more backlog battling on Carl's channel on Wednesday, and then I will be back here next Thursday. We'll be doing, I don't know, I was planning on doing Dark Souls, but maybe we'll do some other Souls-like to celebrate Dude Souls Day. And then Thursday evening, I will be on Jeff's channel, Suns and Shadows, to talk Stargate. So, but yeah, that'll be it for tonight. Always good talking achievements with you, Dude. And thank you guys for hanging out with us as we, ramble on about pointless internet points. So you guys all have a great night. We will see you all later. And as always, in the meantime, game on.